think I got everything started. I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh, I wanted to check. What does it look like? Yeah, you can read everything. Okay. All right. So, why aren't you vegan yet? I'm talking to 18 plus only, please. I've got some resources. I've slimmed them down a little bit. Oh, is my arm cut off? Okay. Good to know. Anyway, so right here are the resources. Dominion 2018 is free on YouTube. Below that is nutritionfacts.org. It just gives you a great place to start. The Dailey Dozen, the Vegan Dailey Dozen, is just a great place to look for nutrition. It's science-backed. I wouldn't even call it vegan. It's plant-based. And then below that is Vegan Easy if you want to talk to like professionals or just have a group of people that are in a similar situation as you that you can relate with and talk about your obstacles. So that's what that is. Let's see, make sure. It's so dark in here. Make sure all my lights are turned up. Okay. So yeah, why aren't you vegan? I'm here talking to people, asking them, should we respect animals? Can you respect them while using them without their consent? Is that fair? Would you tolerate that? I wouldn't. So yeah, why aren't you vegan? Got my tell me why you aren't vegan sweatshirt on. I walk around in this all the time. Oil has nothing to do with veganism. Well, I'm not harassing people. I went live and asking people to come talk to me. Keely, you got to be over 18. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Okay. You guys, you have to be over 18. I'm not going to talk to people under 18. Go ask your mom, why won't strangers talk to me on the internet? Because you're a child. Can you respect someone and also at the same time take their life when they wanted to live? Is that respectful? I would argue it is not respectful. I personally do not care what your habits are, what your conveniences are, what your culture is, what your religion is, whatever. I personally don't want to be used for your benefit. Oh, what's up, Ozark? Hey.
Morning. Just came up for some support today. If you need me to hop in,
Hell
I will try to
yeah.
keep my mouth shut for the majority of the time, though.
Oh, okay. I have no problem with you speaking, so don't feel like you need to hold yourself back. I'm happy to see
Sounds
you though.
good.
Yeah, it's good to see you
Yeah,
though.
you too. Hopefully, you're doing well.
Yeah, I'm doing okay. I'm doing okay. I had some issues starting up. The phone, I use my old phone for a camera, and I use it when I do street outreach, and I didn't charge it, so it's dead. So I had to.
Are you using a computer for your setup right now?
Yeah. I
I'm gonna
just,
have to learn how to do that. Are you using OBS or what?
yeah, OBS. And then I
Okay, I have
use,
that. I just don't know how to use it.
yeah, so what I do I make a virtual camera, and I use my phone as a webcam. And
Okay.
there's an application called IRIUN. It's supposed to look like I run, but it's IRIUN. Add an extra I on there. So it's IRUN webcam. That's the whole application name. But anyway, that's how I turn my phone into a webcam. And
Sweet.
then,
Thank you.
yeah, and then you can use that in OBS.
Sounds good. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Let's see. We do have some requests. I'm going to bring someone up. Push this back. Yeah, it took some time. I had to talk to ChatGPT on how to do that. Hey, Hunter, are you over 18? Hunter? Oh, okay. Coop. Hey, are you over 18, Coop?
Yes.
What year were you born?
Oh, 04.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Personal incredulity, but like, I was just gonna ask if you could like reflect upon the reasoning why people should be vegan.
Can you say your answer one more time? Because I don't think I actually
Yeah,
understood what you said.
like just personal incredulity. Like I just,
Oh, I don't know what that word means. Go ahead and educate me.
it's it's more of like I just don't believe in it towards like more implicit bias reasons, I guess. Like it's
What bias reasons would those be?
yeah, I don't know, just due to like some type of social and environmental conditioning.
Okay, so just because everybody else is doing it?
No, not
Okay.
necessarily.
'Cause I don't really understand what you're saying.
I don't I
Why
don't
don't
have
you
it. No,
want
I'm
why
saying I
don't
don't
you
have a
want
good
to be
reason not
vegan?
to. Why don't I? I mean, I guess just comfortability. I guess. I mean, it's like I said, just personal incredulity.
Do you know what veganism means?
Yeah, I'm just assuming non-exploitation of animals.
Yeah, it's a principled stance against the exploitation of sentient beings and other animals. Yeah.
Yeah, which I think everyone should be vegan. I think the world would probably be a better place. But like, I'd like to hear like why people should be vegan.
Well, it sounds like you already know. You said that you understand that we're against exploitation. So why would someone who's against exploitation not use animals?
That's what like what I want to answer. I mean,
Yeah,
I can
I'm asking
understand
you.
that.
I'm asking you to tell me what you think. Why would someone who's
Why?
against exploitation of sentient beings not use animals?
Well, I guess a lot of the points are the I guess the moral value between the lives and not excluding them due to sentimental capacity, I guess.
So it's about the fact that we all have intrinsic value. We all care about what happens to us, right? And we demand that be respected, as humans at least, right? As humans, we demand that our intrinsic value, the fact that we care about what happens to us, is respected by not being exploited, right?
To an extent, yeah.
So I personally, I'm only sentient. That's the only thing that we care about in each other. I don't care about others. I don't care if they're intelligent. I don't care what they look like. I don't care about any other factor other than that they are sentient. That means that they're able to have subjective emotions and they're having a subjective experience. And if someone's having a subjective experience, that means they have the capacity to suffer, just like us. So if I recognize that somebody has the capacity to suffer and I don't need to use them, if I can in fact avoid demanding their oppression, I do so.
Okay, and
So
do you
so
think that's
what's stopping you from wanting to stand up against oppression? Oppression.
nothing? I think that's totally applicable to humans.
Are you vegan now?
No, I'm I just wanted to like why does it apply to animals? I guess in your worldview.
Well, we just talked about it because they're having a subjective experience just like us. And we
But
demand
like
that be respected in us, but why is it okay to disrespect and, demean their subjective experience? They care what happens to them just as much as we care what happens to us.
well,
Do you mind if I ask a question really quick? And I'll
Please.
be brief. It's kind of something you said earlier. You said you also believed that people should be a vegan. So maybe a better question is, why do you believe that other people should be vegan?
are you asking me?
Yes, because that's something that you had
Oh,
mentioned earlier. So I was just kind of curious.
so
Maybe that's a good question to address.
if I was like to like performatively advocate for veganism, I would probably just point towards it causes less suffering for the most amount of life, I guess, and I guess that would work under a lot of people's moral principles and all that stuff. But I think what my holdup is giving well, like what's under scrutiny for me is the sentimental value and the capacity between a human and then between some other less sentient biological life form.
Okay, so what makes you think that you're choosing between animals and humans?
Well, I don't think it's that we're choosing. I think there's like a distinction biologically.
Why are you comparing the two? I'm not telling you to stop eating humans and eat animals. I'm telling you to stop eating animals and eat plants.
Yeah, sure, but like
I don't understand why
we don't
humans
eat
why are
so
humans coming into the equation? Why do animals have to meet human standards to be respected when we recognize that they care what happens to them regardless of their cognition or their intelligence.
Well, because that is what separates us, and that's why we don't eat
It's not,
humans,
though,
right?
because we have humans that are below the intelligence of animals, and we still respect those humans, or at
But
minimum
they
find
said
it immoral to exploit them.
it would be the capacity that matters, not their intelligence in that instance.
What?
Yeah, so I wouldn't take the capacity of an ant's subjective experience and compare it to a human's capacity for subjective
Okay, it's
experience. That's
not
just
about the richness of the experience. It's about caring what happens to you.
sure, yeah, but I don't think that's
An ant cares about what happens to them. Should you go out of your way to step on an ant just because they're there? Is that
no.
moral? Exactly, because that ant cares what happens to them. If you're in a situation of self-defense, if they're infesting your house, then yeah, you can defend yourself. But, going after someone just because they don't meet your standards, that's not fair.
Well, I don't even think that's what's under
That's what you're
contention. It
saying.
would
You're saying because humans have a more rich experience, it's okay to dominate those that don't have a rich experience.
no. I'm saying that's why we do dominate those that don't
I
have the
don't
rich
care about
experience.
why. I want to know what's stopping you from living vegan and no longer demanding their oppression because you don't need to use them. They
Yeah,
don't want to be
I
used.
personally know I don't need to, but like what's under scrutiny is why that there's a distinction, and the distinction matters.
No, it doesn't. It
So,
doesn't matter. Okay, what did I tell you in the beginning? What is it that we value in each other? What is it? Let's see if you were
yeah,
listening.
sentient.
Okay, are animals sentient?
In the same capacity as humans, no,
That's
but
not
they
what
are
I
sentient.
said. Sentience is binary, my friend. They either are sentient or they're not. Are they
Yeah,
sentient? Yes or no?
I just said, yeah, they're sentient.
Okay. So sentience means that they care about what happens to them. They're having subjective emotions, they're making preferences. No different than a human. So why
Well,
is it okay to rip them from what they care about the most?
well, in your when you use the word sentience, you're just like saying that they
Sentience
perceive.
literally means they're having experiences. They're experiencing subjective emotions. That is what it means. That means they're weighing out their experiences and making
Not entirely.
preferences. They prefer to be comfortable. They prefer to avoid harm. They have an interest in continuing to live. They look forward to things.
So a biological life form having the like a self-preservation factor, that's one thing, but it having preferences
Okay,
and
we have evidence that animals are sentient, Coop. We have evidence.
yeah, sure, I agree with that. But
Okay, so what
when
are
you
you
invoke
arguing
it,
against?
you're invoking that all animals have the same capacity for subjective experience in harm.
Yet all the animals you use are sentient. They all have a
Can I
subjective
interject really quick?
experience. Yes, please.
Yeah, I just want to ask, can you tell me the last time that you experienced life as another individual outside of yourself?
That I feel like that's confused. I couldn't experience anything other than my own experience.
Okay, so I have to ask then, like, how can you just conclude that somebody else's experience is any less valid to them as yours is to you
Well,
without actually having experienced that?
I would need like prior knowledge of their experience to justify their credence level.
But that's what you're doing right now without that. I just
Not
wanted to
really.
point that out. Yeah, because you're assuming like, one individual that is having a subjective phenomenal experience is different than another experience a subjective phenomenal experience, right? Like you have no way, you have no metric to determine whether their sentience is any less valid than yours. You're just making an assumption that they have a lesser capacity to experience that. And we can't like really actually measure that. We can only assume, and we do that based off of behaviors that they experience. And even that is still a speculative measure because I can't even tell you that you are any any level of sentience similar to I am, right? I just conclude that because I'm a human and you're a human and I know like what it's like to be a human as myself. Like it's very possible that your sentience is more or less than mine, right?
We have the same capacity for sentience.
That's you don't know that though.
No, I
You
no,
don't.
that's biologically.
That's not
Yeah,
biologically
no,
true though.
no, it is true though. I mean, I
It's
could.
not. Can you sort a slice of data for that?
Yeah, sure. So, physiologically and anatomically, humans usually have the same capacity. So, if you
Okay,
deem
which research did that come from though?
research, what do you mean research? You want like a peer-reviewed study?
Yes.
Yeah, then I'm just not gonna be able to pull that up for you. I don't want to really do the homework for you, but
No. That's the thing. Like
when
you
I
make a
say that
claim,
humans have
you
the
make
same
a claim. The
capacity for
burden of proof
sentience,
is on you. Like
yeah,
that's
sure,
how these discussions work, though. If you make a claim, the burden of proof is on you.
yeah,
So when you make a claim
I can
that
explain via
something is
example. I
something,
don't have to give you a
you have to
peer-reviewed
have
study.
the evidence. Like that's just how it works.
Well, it's a primitive that humans have the same capacity for physiological and
Yeah, and
anatomical
I
forms.
asked where you got that information from, and you can't
Yeah,
even give me a title.
I can. I mean, I could find you a peer-reviewed study, but I'm not pulling one out of my ass right now. I mean, I could.
Thank you for that.
It's only an opinion.
I
Yeah,
could.
so then it's only an opinion until you can provide evidence. So that's really not a metric that we
Wait. So,
can
do we
use
only determine
unless we have
sentience with
evidence
empirical
that
evidence?
concludes that.
Do
And
we
that's
only
all I have
determine
to say.
sentience
Go ahead.
I mean, that's pretty fallacious to think that we only prove things through empiricism.
Okay, Coop, let's go around this. If I had a dog in front of me and I kick them for fun, do you find that moral?
In the my worldview, no.
Okay. In your worldview, should I stop?
In my world, yeah,
Why? Why should I stop? From your worldview, why should I stop?
yeah, because causing unnecessary harm is immoral in my worldview.
Right, I can go kick something else, right?
Sure.
What if
Or
it
you
brought
don't
what
have
if
to
it
pick it up.
brought my family together? It's a tradition. We've done it for so long and it gives us great joy and we don't really get a lot of exercise, so this actually gets us up and out and about, gets us, our heart, our blood pumping and whatever. Is it moral then because we reap a benefit from it?
I mean, it wouldn't benefit me, so I don't, and it wouldn't benefit the most of the people, so I don't think you should do that now.
So it's only because it's not benefiting the most. Like it's my whole family that comes over.
Sure. Would your
Is
whole
it
family
moral
kicking
then?
dogs? Wait.
Yeah. Yeah, we're all
Would your
we're
whole
all
family
kicking the
kicking
dog.
dogs benefit the entirety of society?
Well, actually the neighborhood does come over and join us. So yeah, I would say that I am helping the majority of people. We're all getting joy out of kicking this dog. Is it
So,
moral?
like within the
Do you
hypothetical, the
do
majority
you
of people
find it
kick dogs.
moral? Do you find it moral?
No, if a majority of people kick dogs, I don't find it moral
Why is it still immoral in your worldview?
because I can rationalize why it's not moral.
Why is it immoral? Can you verbalize it?
Yeah, so kicking dogs would cause unnecessary harm. I can demonstrate why it would cause unnecessary
Yeah,
harm
it
by telling you that
causes
you
the
would kick
dog
something else.
unnecessary harm. They don't need to experience that. The whole neighborhood and I can kick something else, right? That's the whole
Sure.
point. So, right now, you're using animals, you're stealing them from their families, you're robbing them of their bodily autonomy, and you're stealing their whole existence from them so that you get pleasure.
Is
Is
that
that
in every
moral?
instance?
Is that
I don't
moral?
think that's in every instance, no.
That's every
I disagree with
instance.
that statement. No.
If you're using animals, that's what happens. You're stealing them
I
from their
mean,
families, their autonomy, and their whole lives.
well, if a majority of people kick dogs to save their offspring's life, do you think that's moral?
To save their offspring's life, so you're mentioning a self-defense situation?
I'm giving you an
So
instance
vegans
where it's
recognize self-defense. If you need to protect your crops, protect your crops. If someone's coming at you, defend yourself. Yeah.
so. Is there any other example where an animal that's not human's life becomes less valuable than your property or something like that,
What?
other than self-defense?
Becomes less value. I don't know if you are on the same topic that we're talking about. What I'm saying is, if you can avoid demanding someone's oppression, you should.
Yeah, I
Do
agree.
you shop at a grocery store?
Sometimes.
Well, then you have options.
Yeah, I
So
like
you
I said in
don't
the beginning,
have to
I totally
demand. Do
agree
you know
with
what
it.
supply and demand is?
Yeah, it's
So when
economics.
you go in there and you purchase those animal products, they replace them. That means they literally send the next individual into that system for you. That means there are animals in cages because of you. And the only way to stop demanding that is to live vegan, is to no longer demand animals be used.
Sure, yeah, I agree that
If
animals
you
shouldn't.
remove your demand, they breed fewer animals into existence. You could literally prevent 100 to 300 animals from being forced into that system. That's huge. 100 to 300 individuals, each caring about what happens to them. You're one person. If you were standing in a group of 100 humans, each human cares what happens to them, right? That means everything to 100 individuals. Same thing for those 100 animals that you could save. They care. They don't want to go through that. And you, all you have to do is move your hand. That's it. It's really easy.
I understand. I
So
totally
you
agree.
still, it sounds like you still want to demand animals be robbed of their autonomy, their family, and their bodies.
No.
Okay, so why aren't you vegan then?
I just said at the beginning, personal incapability. The same way I don't
I
ride
think
bike.
you're using big words to dodge these questions because you're scared. It sounds like you're afraid of change. And that's a big part of growing up, Coop. Big part of growing up is learning that you have bad habits that you have to change. And being an adult is taking responsibility and realizing that you do play a big part in something. You do have a lot of power. And, you know, I understand that change sounds big and intrusive, but if you were the one in the cage, what would you want your oppressor to do? Take 20 minutes to learn how to eat and then maybe a month to figure out their new habits? Or would you rather your oppressor just keep using you?
I mean, obviously the latter. I wouldn't want to be oppressing anyway.
So why aren't you giving that same respect that you would demand?
I just told you personal incapability. I'm taking accountability for my
I don't even
immoral.
think you know what that word means. I think you just keep using it as a deflection. Yeah, I don't think you're actually using it right, though. You're just using it as a deflection. I understand you have bias, but that just means that you're aware of your bias. That doesn't give you an excuse to keep doing bad. That means you're aware of your obstacle, so get the hell over it. Like,
Wait,
what are you doing? You're literally saying, I can't not be racist because I have a bias. Okay?
No,
stop being racist.
That's disanalogous.
Stop being speciesist.
If I just told.
What's that mean? What's speciesism?
What's speciesism?
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, I just take it to be as like some type of not classism, colorism for a species.
Yes, you're picking arbitrary traits to make yourself feel better to dominate someone else. You're ignoring their capacities. You talk a lot. You're ignoring their capacities to suffer, their experiences. And you're saying because your experience is greater, it's okay for you to dominate someone. You're literally saying might makes right. But you wouldn't tolerate that for yourself. And then you go to apathy. Well, I just don't care. But if you were the one in the cage, you would care. Do you see how you're on both sides of the fence on this? How you're contradicting yourself?
Well, I feel like you're dismissing the fact that I said in the beginning.
Okay. I think I'm done with you, Coop, because you're purposely just deflecting. You're being a child and you can't accept responsibility. So I'm kind of done talking to you. Ozark, would you like to take over? I don't know if you want to talk to him or not.
I mean, it's up to you if you want me to. I can.
Please,
if you want to move on
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done talking to him.
I want to go back to the question when you had asked, like you had mentioned, you believe that other people should be vegan. I really do want to explore that one because if you believe that others should be vegan, like you would logically believe that yourself should be as well.
Yeah, I said that in the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So I wanted to explore that because, like, it sounds like you're kind of grappling with like trying to hold on to the I guess consumption part of your life for lack of better terms. So I guess I would ask, like, because that creates a contradiction. People should be vegan. I'm not vegan, right?
It doesn't though.
How would you address, like, how would you explain that to me? Like, explain that to me like I'm 5, right? How would you say that others should be vegan, but you are not?
Sure. So I can I can consciously acknowledge my shortcomings and my immoral qualities of myself, such as me being an environmentalist, but I don't practice environmentalism to its fullest capacity, or I drive a combustion vehicle, but I'm against pollution of the air. Should I ride a bicycle? I mean,
If you're talking, I can't hear you. You cut out unless my thing froze. Can you repeat what you said, please?
who, me or the host?
You.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yep.
Which which part? When did I cut
Just
out?
just like it stopped at environmentalism. Like you drive a
Yeah, so
combustion vehicle, and then I stopped hearing you.
I can be an environmentalist, but not practice it to its fullest capacity.
Yeah, do you mind describing what you mean? Like, because when it comes to like something like veganism, you know, that's something that you can practice within what's practicable to you. Even environmentalism, you can do so. Like, just because like you're incapable of abstaining from some things that might be a necessity for you, that might be bad for the environment, doesn't mean that you could practice it to the best of your ability. Like, do you understand what I mean?
I mean, yeah, that could be one way you could go about it doing it. I mean,
Yeah. So like if you claim to be like an environmentalist, let's use the example that you do, but you like actively don't practice that to the best of your ability, then that just creates another performative contradiction, and it's an
what's the
inconsistency.
contradiction?
A contradiction. It's when a
No, I know what a contradiction is. I was asking what is the particular contradiction.
Oh, the contradiction. So if you say like you're an environmentalist, but like you're actively doing stuff that's damaging to the environment and you can abstain from it, you can't really claim to be an environmentalist. You can say you agree with the philosophy perhaps or the concept of it, but like that doesn't necessarily mean you are one. Like if I were to call myself a vegan, but I were to exploit animals when I didn't have to, I would not be a vegan, even if I agreed with the premise of the philosophy.
So, in your logic, things people can only identify and self-proclaim things if they practice them to the fullest extent via merit.
Yes, if that philosophy or practice uh, implies or like dictates that you do something specifically to achieve that, then yes.
Does this include like indirect and direct causation?
Can you explain what you what
Yeah,
what you
sure.
mean?
So if I'm a vegan and I think that exploiting animals and unnecessary harm to animals is bad, but I'm
Hold on,
driving
hold
down
on.
the
I
road.
want to pause you there because you're conflating two different things there, right?
What?
You said exploitation, and then you added harm or suffering, right?
Yeah, unnecessary
And
harm.
yeah, so I just want to express, like, let's circle back to what the argument here was: a principled stance against the unnecessary exploitation of others. Unnecessary harm, like harm, but like specifically, even unnecessary harm is unavoidable in many instances. And I will provide you an example, right? You decide you want to go to your favorite restaurant. You did not need to. You have food at home, but you go to your favorite restaurant and a bunch of bugs die in the process, right? That's unnecessary harm. Or you go for a walk that you didn't need to go for. You accidentally step on a bug that you were unaware of. That's
Right.
unnecessary harm, right? So we can argue harm reduction into
Okay.
absurdity, right?
Okay.
So we're focusing on exploitation because that is intentional, right? We are intentionally using somebody at their own detriment to benefit us, right? So let's just stick with exploitation here.
Yeah. Yeah, that's perfect. So I mean, so you wouldn't count in like indirect like causation that would go against like environmentalism, right?
Well,
That's fine.
I'm not necessarily here to discuss environmentalism,
No, I was
right?
just using that as an example, like when you proposed that it was a contradiction performatively.
No, I said that it was a performative contradiction if like you're actively doing something that you know you can abstain from practicably, like not taking into account the indirect or direct harm from it, just the act itself.
Yeah, sure. That's fine, but I don't when you so and that would be like via some type of merit, and I would have to actively being environmentalist to the fullest capacity, and that would exclude any type of, I guess, instances where I don't have to do these things that would go against environmentalism. But I think that's impractical.
Okay, so again, I'm trying to address the practicability of it, right? So I'll use myself as an example, right? I am a small scale farmer. I live extremely rurally. The only time I use my vehicle is when we need to go to resupply or do anything critical. I do not use pesticides. I build biodiversity. I don't use synthetic fertilizers. I don't use animal products, right? So I'm not an environmentalist per se, but I do practice it to the best of my ability. I do that out of my veganic practices because I believe that by extension, doing less harm to the environment is an ethical practice for me, right? So I am doing all these things when I have to. Because I drive a car when it's necessary doesn't necessarily make me against environmentalism or really violate that. I am doing something within what is practicable and necessary for me, right? And that's going to change from individual to individual.
Yeah, so, and this is perfect because I work in ag and horticulture a bit. So, you as a small scale farmer, would you prioritize your crops, or would you prioritize the animals that are surrounding?
I do both.
And you do that by not applying inorganic pesticides, insecticides, or herbicides?
Yeah, and I also build biodiversity to draw in wildlife, right? I protect like the areas that I need to protect, like using like netting and other stuff, or even plants that have a tendency to repel specific wildlife around areas.
Right.
But I don't use harmful methods.
So couldn't someone argue that using the net is a harmful method and deterring the animal from getting the food that it needs?
I think you're
It's
losing
not their
sight of the
food. It's
point.
my
The
food.
point, that's not exploitation. That's
I
self-defense.
that was an offshoot question.
No, it's fine. Now, like I need to eat, right? How about this? True or false? In order for a human to survive, they need to eat.
Sure, yeah.
That is a necessity. So that food is my food. I cultivated that food for me. I'm not preventing them for doing anything, right? Just like I'm not going out to use them or specifically look for their food sources to consume. I am creating my food source. Putting up a net for them is defending my livelihood. Self-defense is not exploitation.
Yeah, that's what the host brought up earlier, and I totally agree with that.
Yep. So what I want to circle back since I've kind of made it pretty clear, like why should other people be vegan but you shouldn't?
I don't think I just said I should be vegan, but I choose not to be vegan. Like, I ought to be vegan, but I'm not. I think
Okay.
everyone ought to be vegan.
Yeah, that's so I can't make you do something, especially when you're like ethically aware of it and you believe that you should, you just choose not to. At that point, it's just like I I hope you make better choices. There's really no other.
He's literally saying, "Oh, I'm racist, and I know I shouldn't be
That's not the
racist,
same.
and everyone should not be racist, but I can't help it. I
People
just
aren't
have to
racist
be
within you.
racist. I just
And
have to be racist." That's what
there's
you're
not a time
saying.
when you can't be racist in self-defense. You can't be racist, and that's not justified either. So, I mean, being
Well,
racist
you
can't be
are
justified.
speciesist because you're allowing, if it were
Wait,
human bodies, hold on. If it were human bodies that were on the shelf, would you buy them? If there's no other animal products, just human flesh, are you going to buy it?
no, there's biological just deep like deficiencies that come along with that. I'm not doing
That's not
that.
true. You can eat humans just like you can animals. Same
You
dangers.
have yeah, to an
Yeah,
extent.
all
I
you
mean,
have to do
we
is
can
cook it. So
sure,
would you buy baby
but does
bacon?
your body have the same
Would you
enzymes that break
buy
down human?
baby bacon coop? Stop trying to sidestep the question. It's totally healthy for you. This particular human flesh is the best. Tastes better than bacon. Better for your body than bacon. Are you going to buy human baby bacon now?
No.
Why not?
Yeah, like I said, it brings biological
So when it
disadvantages.
comes to humans, you now have the strength to not buy animal or baby products. You'll go to the vegan aisle and buy the alternatives. Is that what I'm hearing?
Well, I don't think you can eat humans in any hypothetical.
So if there's only babies on the shelf, are you going to go vegan?
No, because you can't eat humans.
So you would eat the babies.
No, you can't eat
So
humans.
these are your options, Coop. Stop trying to wiggle out. Your option is you either
There's
buy
nothing to
baby
solve that
flesh
matter.
or you go vegan. What are you going to do? Yeah.
I mean, if that
What are
was
you
the
going to
only
do?
option, well, I'm obviously going to choose the veganism, but I don't think you can eat
So
humans
you
at
can
all.
find the strength to
But
avoid
it's not.
demanding animal products. No, you just said it yourself. You know you can do
No.
it. You would take the time to avoid demanding babies be born and unalived unnecessarily for you. You just said it. So we got the answer. You can do it.
There's
You don't
reasons we
want to.
don't eat
You want to
humans.
remain racist. I get it. You just really want to hurt animals. You enjoy it. I got it. Sorry, guys, I couldn't take that anymore. He's literally just trying to dodge and not take responsibility. And he's using big
Yeah, I
words.
mean, I was ready for you to drop him before I even started talking to him. That's why I kind of
Okay.
hinted at that.
I gotcha. I'm sorry.
It's like,
I'll take the
you
hint
want me
next time.
to? Okay.
Yeah, I'll take the hint next time. He was just being a debate bro. He wasn't smart. We called him out on his hypocrisy, and he's like, yeah, I just don't want to do it. It's like, and you said it very clearly, we can't make you be a good person. Like, you know what's right. You should do what's right. You can't do what's right, then you're being immoral by your own standards. And you have to live with that. Terrible. Hey guys, it's good to see you all. This will be, if there's any other vegans out there, I want to leave it at this. This is the maximum amount of vegans on the panel I want. How's everyone doing?
Yeah, I actually started adopting your style too. It makes it a lot less chaotic, so I appreciate that.
Yeah, it does. It does. Well, it's good to see you guys up here. How you doing, Landon?
What's up?
Hey, it's good to see you. Hey, Lori. It's good to see you guys. All right, let's bring up the next guest. And Lori, let me know if you have any issues. It looks like you can mute yourself though, so that's good. Black X Spazzy.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, are you over 18?
Yeah, I'm 18.
What year were you born?
2007, February 10th.
Okay. So why aren't you vegan?
So the reason why is because for me, like, I actually really wanted to have this conversation about you because I wanted to also know, like, for you, like, before
Well,
I
first
answer that
my
question.
question. Before
Okay,
you
I
answer.
will.
Okay.
Yeah, why am I not vegan is because it's just my ignorance, really. I really could do better with that, like, being more mindful of that, like y'all were saying. You feel me? Because it
Well,
is a
if you
healthy
already
food
agree
option.
with us, why don't you just go check out our
No,
resources?
I had a question though. That's the issue. I just have one question for you because I'm trying to understand it more. That's all it is.
Okay. What's your
So my
question?
question was like, with the whole vegan thing, is it like, do you not eat at like no like? How do you get your protein? Like, how do you get big as a vegan? Because I've seen a lot of
I would go.
vegans.
I would go to just Google vegan Daily Dozen. I personally, I like to eat a whole food plant-based diet, and this covers everything. I have 3 servings of beans, 5 servings of vegetables, 3 servings of fruit. I have oatmeal in the morning. I have tempeh and tofu. Excuse me. So that's where I get my protein. If you
Okay,
want,
that makes sense.
if you
I
want more
appreciate it.
protein, you can do protein powders. There's all sorts of options.
And that has like no animal product in there.
No animal products, all plants or fungus
Damn.
if you eat mushrooms. If you
Oh
go to
no, I
vegan,
don't do mushrooms.
if you go to Vegan Easy, you can actually go talk to like mentors, and they even have some nutritionists, so you can be like, hey, I'm worried about getting my protein, and they can help you find products that are in your area that fit your budget. To be like, hey, this is what you could make to meet your daily need.
That's tough. I really appreciate you. Thank you. That was very
Yeah,
insightful.
absolutely.
Also, check out the documentary The Game Changers.
Oh yeah, that's a good one too.
What they got a whole bunch of different prep meals.
The Game Changers is a documentary about athletes that are on plant-based diets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really good.
Oh. I didn't know athletes were on plant-based diets. I thought all athletes I thought that's the only reason that's why I was asking y'all that because I'm an athlete myself. I was just wondering like how would I do that still being an athlete? You know what I mean? Because I've always like I've never really been a vegan, but like I'm trying to get into it. You see what I'm saying? Like after hearing about it, 'cause my wife she want to be a veterinarian. You see what I'm saying? So I gotta kind of you know what I mean. She care a lot about animals and shit. So I'm trying to be more respectful about that.
Yeah, Game Changers is great. If you look up, if you want to talk to like a coach, there's someone named Brian Turner or Hinch Herbivore. They're both really buff bodybuilders and they're coaches. So if you want to get buff like them, they offer a service to help you on a plant-based diet get ripped.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I got one more question with the vegan. I'm so sorry. With the plants, like I've heard they have consciousness. Like, do we have to be concerned with that, or is that like I don't understand it? Like I've heard like plants got consciousness and stuff, and that started fucking with me. That started fucking with me. I ain't gonna lie on a real note.
Plants don't have a brain or a central nervous system, so they don't.
So they
They
can't
don't.
feel pain and nothing like
Yeah,
that.
no. There's no evolutionary purpose for them to feel pain. They've thrived better without being sentient.
Ah, I see what you talk about. Okay.
They're just, if you were to look at them, they're just a bunch of little organisms that bump into each other and they react to each other. And those patterns that they move around in just happen to keep surviving in their environments. And if they no longer are able to function in their environments, then they stop working. So they're just kind of little machines.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Yeah. But even if they were sentient, oh, okay. I don't know if he meant to drop down. But even if they were sentient, the animals we use consume more plants. So if you're worried about plant welfare, we should also still be vegan. Okay. I don't know. All right, Joshua, come on up. That was a random drop. Hey, Joshua, are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I actually cannot properly answer that question. I've been thinking about it a lot, and it's raised a lot of questions and contradictory
Have we
thoughts that I
spoken?
can't really seem to answer with.
Were we talking in
We've spoken
private
before,
message?
yeah.
Okay. I was going to say, I recognized
Yes,
your
we were,
image
yeah.
suddenly. Okay. Yes.
Yeah,
So
I've actually had a
I
lot
didn't
of,
get to read your last message. So I did see that you replied,
okay.
but I didn't read it. So if you want to
Yeah, I
continue from
guess
there, you can.
yeah, it was kind of a long message. I don't remember exactly what I
That's
said,
okay. You
but
could just
I
go from
guess I'm
wherever you
trying.
remember.
Okay, well, I'm trying to like answer some questions for myself. Like, let's say there was a ton of vegans and there was less hunters. Like I'm a deer hunter, so what would happen? Like a lot of times, deer populations get like crazy, way out of hand. They catch disease and they basically kill themselves off. Like, how would you go about like helping those animals out? You know what I mean? Because
Honestly,
traditionally,
I
it's
don't
like, oh,
think I
you just go
would
out
at
and shoot them.
first. I don't think I would help them at first. I would want to sort out our human issues and then we can venture into what are animals doing. I feel that right now humans
Okay,
are
so you're saying let nature take its course.
basically, because if we went vegan, we would allow, or we would have a huge swath of land that we're no longer using. Equivalent, I think I quoted this to you, America and Brazil combined. So we wouldn't be using that quantity of land. So animals wouldn't need to encroach on our human territories. They would have room to live. So we
Understood.
wouldn't need to go hunt deer because they wouldn't be encroaching on our property.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
see
we
your
can
point.
and we can improve our crop farming. If we're worried about them coming into our crops and such, we can improve that. So keep them out.
Another thing, I I am struggling understanding, um, like I guess morality when it comes to it because, like from my perspective, I'm like we've sort of been hunter gatherers. A lot of humans have been in like for generations now, hundreds of years, and like where like are we reaching a new high of society where now we can look at those things as barbaric? Is that sort of the mindset? Like we have
No, I think it's
way
more
better
like
options now, or
it's not about that we're better now. It's just that a lot of people now have had the time to look at our actions, just like we've done many times over for any rights movement, and we're like, "Oh,
right?
what we're doing is wrong. We need to change this." So it's
I
not
see.
about, I mean, because slavery was around for hundreds of years. People were inheriting slaves, right? That doesn't mean that it should continue just because it had been going on for generations. It was still immoral to the people that were enslaved.
Right. So
Yeah.
essentially, it's about the morality of the deer or the rabbit or whatever
Yeah.
it may be is what you're saying that we need to start taking into consideration.
Yeah, take into consideration their experiences, and if you can avoid demanding their oppression or exploitation, then you should.
Okay, so like, what about the part where, so me personally, I have hunted my whole life. I was raised up like that was what my family did. And so I was always around it. Like, how does somebody like me suddenly gain a different sense of morality for an animal in the sense of like, I can't even hunt it now?
I can't make you gain that morality. It's about recognizing it. It'd be like, look, a vegan would see a deer and think, oh, that deer is similar to my companion dog, or my friend's companion dog. Like, they would see the
Yeah.
similarities in that they both care to live, and it would be an atrocity to pew pew a dog in the forest for fun, even if you're going to eat them, right? It's the same thing for the deer. It's an atrocity.
I
They're
understand
losing
that.
everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
that's the
mean,
perspective. If you're
like,
worried
I
about your
definitely
social
have like
circles, if you're worried about like your social circles because you were a hunter, there's actually a TikToker on here that's called Empty Cages, and his name is
empty
Hunter.
cages.
Empty Cages.
Okay.
And he even has like a deer tattoo on his shoulder. It's his family crest. He came from a
Yeah.
family that is very entrenched in hunting, and he no
Yeah,
longer
mine is
hunts.
as well. I'm very, very entrenched in hunting. It's
Yeah.
like a way of
I would reach
life.
out to him because he himself was in the same situation, like avid hunter since he was young. Like I said, he's got tattoos about it, and he talks about it on his
Yeah.
videos frequently. So if I were you, I would go look up Empty Cages, and maybe he also will engage in conversation with you. So if you want, you can even ask him questions. He's more knowledgeable, I would argue, possibly than I am in some of these topics, specifically hunting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to drag it out. I just have one more thing, if you don't
Sure.
mind.
Yeah. What's up?
Um, so like personally, I do feel a spiritual connection to like all animals, and this might be like hard to understand because like I'm a hunter, but I this is where the morality question is raising in my heart because I'm like, okay, you have a spiritual connection with nature and these animals, yet I see myself as another animal in the food chain. So it's like, where does the morality in that? Where's the morality in that? I don't think that that's the way that I should be looking at it. So it's sort of like it's raised a bunch of questions I can't seem to answer for myself.
I mean, it's just about, I don't really know how to word this any different. It's literally just about seeing all the animals as sentient and recognize, like seeing yourself in them and asking yourself, what would I want the person that's standing in front of me holding the gun, what would I want them to do? Or excuse me, the pew pew, because it's TikTok. What would I want them to do? Would I want them to point it at me just because they're in a social situation, or would I want to be left alone?
Yeah,
I guess you could weigh
obviously
it out
not.
this way. Is your awkwardness around your friends and family more uncomfortable than the animal losing their life?
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I just
But
can't seem to. I've
I
never
would
tried to connect those dots.
maybe who you should speak to, and I didn't even think about it. He's in the chat right now. Is Ben the vegan farmer? He also was a hunter, which I totally forgot about Ben. But he was a hunter for I think he said 28 years, and he is
He could
now.
take my spot up here if he wants. I asked him if he wanted to.
I asked him if he wanted to come. I don't know if he wants to, though. And it's totally fine if he doesn't want to. I totally get the pressure of being on a live.
Oh,
So I
Ben.
don't want to pressure him either. But he's right there in the chat. If you want to go, he'll also talk to you. He goes live sometimes. He talks about wild animals and how we handle invasive animals and even animals in crop deaths because he's a vegan farmer. So maybe reach out to him. Maybe he can help you draw that line.
Okay, thank you so much. I really appreciate taking the time to talk with me and be open minded.
Yeah, hell yeah. It looks like he's even talking to you right now. He says he's doing construction, but he'll follow you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. You have a good day.
You too, Joshua. I'll see you later. I'm totally fine with people being curious. Thank you, Ben, for being willing to talk to him too. Thank you. I oddly have no requests right now. This is really early. It doesn't normally happen this quickly. Does anybody else want to come up? Got to be over 18. There's 37 of you. There's got to be somebody in here that's not vegan. It's pretty easy to be vegan. I know it feels scary. Yeah. Okay, yeah, you're talking to Joshua again. I know that the change sounds scary and big, but really once you, just check out my resources. Just see the Vegan Daily Dozen. It's really, really easy. It does not take that much work to eat it. It takes a month to maybe figure out your habits on what to eat and how to fit things together, but it really isn't that hard.
Yeah, so I'm willing to give up my spot if anybody else has anything to contribute to the relevant conversation. So, feel free to eject to me if that's the case.
I have no one requesting right now, not even a vegan, which is fine.
It's been weird the past few days. I'm sure
Yeah.
the current human condition has a lot to do with it.
Yes. Well, and also, I don't know if everyone all heard, but apparently TikTok had they keep pushing out that date for America for when they're going to shut down in America. I don't know if you knew about that. Remember we had that big TikTok Armageddon kind of thing. Everybody went down that was in America. Well, so they keep pushing it out, and apparently the next due date was this Wednesday. So I wonder if that had anything to do with it. The big Cheeto was talking to the head of TikTok, I guess. So I don't know if they reached a deal or not.
Who knows?
I don't know. I just think that has something to do with why it's so dead right now.
It could. I think a lot of people were more spooked by the community guidelines rhetoric that was flying around, much of which I believe was unfounded. Like people thought that TikTok was going to turn on their cameras and stuff like that. And I ran the new guidelines through chat. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I ran the new guidelines through chat and everything that was entailed in it and everything coming up. And all it really said is they're just going to reinforce what's already in place, but just more actively enforce it. So.
Oh, good. Well, hopefully it's for the right things because it seems like they always go after odd things.
Well, the big thing was government officials and political content creators who are trying to be be in the government, using the platform for donations or funding or anything like that, or current government officials using using the platform for monetization purposes and stuff like that.
Gotcha. Okay, I see. I feel weird getting money on here, and I have no problem with people making money on here. I always feel weird when people send me donations because I'm like, I haven't promised to put these donations towards anything. I mean, it's nice and it does helps me, just live my life, but I don't know. I haven't even touched actually any of the money that's been given to me. I used it one time to pay for parking for one of my street outreach events, and that is all I've done with it because I'm like, I don't know if I should keep track of this or what. I don't know. Maybe I'll donate it to a sanctuary.
I don't think there's anything wrong with using it. People are donating it because they like the message. I give out gifts because they're given to me and I don't cash them out. So I'm just going to spread them. Somebody yesterday told me that gifting other people boosts the live algorithm. So I don't know if that's true or not. So I just started trying to be more aware and observe if that's actually the case or not, because if that is the case, I'm just going to continue to do that, but a little more often if I have the gifts available to do so.
When that TikTok again or whatever, I don't know what we called it, but when everything went down in America, I wasn't allowed, or it stopped me from hooking up my payment system to TikTok. I wasn't able to donate anymore. And so since then, I just haven't even bothered, even though somehow I'm still receiving funds, but they can't. I don't know. I'm sure it's better now. I could probably just do that. I like that idea, though, of just reusing it for other people, because that makes me feel like I'm putting it back into the vegan community. Although I think it's isn't it 60% goes to TikTok?
Yeah. All the functions should be back to normal. They ended up fully, giving everybody everything back that was initially out for I think it was a month or two, maybe, where you didn't have full function of TikTok use, like TikTok shop, or being able to like buy any gifts or anything like that. So that did change. You can do promotions and buy like coins to give gifts and like
Okay. Yeah, I
add new
just need to
pay
hook my
methods
system
and
back up.
stuff like that. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, because like I said, I just felt weird about it, and I just haven't touched it. But I do like giving back, even though it sounds like most of it will go to TikTok. But whatever, it's fine. Come on, non-vegans, let's go. Come on up. I know you're in here. Maybe not, actually. I don't know. These are all, quite a few of them are vegans. Hey, vegans, it's good to see you, though. What's up? Oh my gosh, guys. All right, make sure you guys are liking the live. Maybe that'll help. If you can, share it. Let's see if we can get some people in here to like have a conversation, because I know that there's a lot of people that need to be vegan. Oh, Eric, why don't you come up? Why don't you come up? Let's talk about it. Eric, where are you? My list keeps shifting. There you are. Why don't you come up? I sent you an invite. Love to talk about it. It's a topic that's brought up frequently. Eric, all eyes are on you. We're waiting. We're waiting for you to blow our minds.
Oh my gosh. More animals are unalived being vegan? That's insane. Oh my god.
What's even crazier is it looks like you're on mute and talking to me.
Oh, I'm on mute?
No, Landon, it shows that he's on mute
Oh,
talking.
Oh.
that's weird. Yeah. Mine doesn't say he's muted, though. So maybe TikTok's just having a issue on your phone or something.
Is it cool if I block homophobic stuff?
Yes, please do. I don't tolerate that. Oh, yeah, I see it. Yeah, please do.
I just do that by default. I
Yep.
think
Yeah,
that's
just
inflammatory, so.
Yeah.
for sure.
I do not tolerate that. Thank you, guys. Yeah, sometimes I miss them. But yeah, I do not tolerate homophobia or sexism, racism, all those things. Not okay. Not okay.
Yeah, I hope that you guys do the same on my lives, especially if I miss it. That's why I gave you guys the mod powers.
I haven't
Same.
done anything yet, but it's good to know where your lines are, because I have talked to other vegans where they're concerned about the algorithm, and if you block too many people that the message won't be sent out enough. I'm like, that's not worth having derogatory messages in your chat personally. I don't think
I don't
so.
know if that's true necessarily though, because I'm sure I've blocked like dozens of people from your live that have displayed like oppressive like comments or behavior, and you still get a lot of traffic. So
Yeah. To be fair, this person was on YouTube, so maybe it's different. I doubt it though. I don't think it really makes a difference. I think YouTube is basically the same thing. But I think you still get the same amount of traffic. And the person that I was talking to has a lot of traffic, so it's kind of weird that he even cared, but whatever. Man, you guys, really? Not one person? I just can't even believe it.
Where the hell is Eric at?
Yeah, Eric never came up. In fact, it looks like he left.
Oh.
Maybe I should just like restart. Like maybe something happened, because it's just like there's no one here. Just my lovely vegans, which I do love having you guys, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna restart, guys. Are you guys okay?
Yeah,
Oh wait, there's one person. Let's try this one person, and then if it still stays really slow, I'll restart. Nas, are you over 18?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Well, honestly, I was thinking about it before I joined in because I understand, I'm not like ignorant about, how destructive, like how much harm comes from, the industry, I guess, of meat.
So what's have you ever like watched a documentary? Do you know what like animals go
Yeah,
through? Okay.
yeah, I've definitely seen stuff, and I've seen a lot of people talk about it, but and I've actually come a far way because you know I've been in those like other spaces that are all like you know uh
I don't know.
the opposite. I don't know, like
Oh,
you see
like
the people, like, the haters and that kind of thing.
oh, okay. Well,
For me though,
go
I
ahead.
don't really know what kind of benefit comes out of it for those animals,
Yeah. So
because I'm just one person. It's just a
sure.
cheeseburger, you know.
It can feel like you don't make a difference, but one person going vegan can actually prevent 100 to 300 animals from being born into existence so they don't go through that system, which is a big deal. It's a lot of individuals you could save from living a life of torture.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Nas. So, um, like if everyone was, kicking dogs for fun, everyone was doing
yeah.
it, and you were kind of taught to do it too, but then you realized, oh, this is bad. I don't like what we're doing isn't good. Would you continue because everyone else would be continuing to kick these dogs, or would you be like, you know what, I'm not going to kick dogs anymore because it's bad, and my values, my actions are not lining up with my values. So would you continue to kick the dog, or would you not do that because you feel that it's wrong?
I definitely wouldn't kick the dog, but
Yeah.
that it's kind of different though because you know, uh, kicking a dog is a very like it's you kicking a dog, but there's so many. You're so disconnected from the meat you're getting, you know. Um, so
Yeah.
it definitely feels different. Like I've never really felt like guilt. I
Yeah.
guess from
Yeah.
eating meat like I would if I was like abusing an animal.
Well, but what you're doing is you're paying for people to abuse animals.
Yeah. Thanks.
So I mean, that's your money, your hard-earned money. You're using it to pay people to exploit animals.
Yeah. So I guess the other thing would be like I don't have a lot of time to figure out what doing that change would look like, how I would do it, knowing what things are acceptable and what things are not acceptable.
Well,
Because
it's a learning thing. You over time you get better at something that you're interested in doing. So like you can go to these websites on like veganeasy.org. You can talk to nutritionists and dietitians that will help you. And yeah, of course you're gonna have to do some learning, but if it's important to you, you would learn. You would be open to learning and doing investigating to make sure that your actions do line up with your values.
so yeah, that's interesting. I guess then I just don't know if it would be considered that important for me then, because my time I spend in going out of my way to do that kind of thing, to me, I don't know, it just feels like too much. Because the 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 harm that comes to these animals, it's like in one hand it's like I have this view where it's like suffering is suffering, all that kind of stuff, but also there's tons of like um it's just like an animal, or it's
Hmm.
like
Do you really
change.
believe that?
Well, I kind of do. I have a lot of like hunters in my family and stuff, and they always bring home food from animals and we eat it. It's like the suffering of a human is so much more, I feel like.
You feel
Why?
oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry, Landon. No, please
No,
continue.
no,
Please
no.
continue.
Yeah, why do you think a human suffering is worse than another sentient being suffering?
Um, it could be like intelligence or like um consciousness, I guess.
Yeah, so then you would say that you would no longer eat like pigs because would you so would you ever do that to a dog? Are you okay with doing these things to a dog?
Uh, no.
Yeah, so a pig is more intelligent than a dog. So are you gonna stop eating pigs now? So the reason why I'm saying this is because intelligence really shouldn't be a factor. What should be the factor is sentience, is that they feel and they're able to they're aware of their surroundings. They can feel these things. Doesn't matter how smart you are, because I mean if you say that's the key factor is you're always going to find someone smarter than another.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, including animals, have sentience. All of us do. So don't you think that would be the more logical thing to base your actions off of?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Logically.
Mhm.
Um. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I'm just trying to find like everything I think is keeping me from that.
Yeah, I mean, and that's good to think about. I mean, really, what it comes down to is tradition.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and but all of us, everyone in the chat, all the vegans in the chat, we were not vegan. I mean, maybe some were raised vegan, but I wasn't. Um, VSL, Ozark, they were not vegan, but we just allowed ourselves to see what was going on, and we asked ourselves, we looked in our hearts and asked ourselves, are we okay with what's going on, even though this is part of my tradition? And the answer
Mm-hmm.
is no, it's not okay. Tradition doesn't equal a justification for harming and exploiting others. um, so yeah, I mean, if you feel that, then you can make that change.
Yeah. So, how do you think um, if there is this like huge movement where like millions of people became vegan, what would that change?
Well, I mean, less animals would be exploited.
Mm.
That's the whole point, is to end the exploitation of other animals.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And of course, it's not going to happen overnight. No one expects that. I would say that's not even something that we're really advocating for because it's not possible. But what is possible is, we're talking to you. You're able to change and not pay for something that you disagree with.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we're doing this. That's why we're doing these lives every day, because we're talking to new people. And if those people change, they'll start to tell their people about it too. And then that's how movements grow, is people one by one changing their mind, and then them doing the same for other people. Just like any other social justice movement, no social justice movement was automatically accepted if it went against the norm. This is just another one.
Interesting. Okay, so if you think it's not really possible for all these people to change, then what's kind of like the point? You
Yeah,
just
I view it as wrong, and I don't want to participate in it.
that's reasonable.
Yeah, just like, I mean, I'm not equating anything, but look at racism. Would you consider yourself a racist person?
No.
And you realize racism will never end, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
That's not going to stop you from holding your belief that you don't want to be racist and that's a wrong thing to be.
Uh-huh. Okay, um so I guess I would think for myself like I hold certain ideals and stuff um that would make me lean towards being vegan, but like as far as practicality, like not even just like, you know, the information's out there, like you can learn things and talk to people and figure out how to do it yourself, but also just like, um, you know, everybody you know is against, well, everyone I know is not even just like doesn't care about it, is like anti this and anti that, and it's like, you know, I don't know how um, doing that kind of change would like
Like affect your social stuff,
affect my
or
social life.
yeah,
Yeah,
if they truly cared about you, if they're your real friends and family, they would respect your decisions.
yeah, that's true. Well, yeah, I just kind of joined this conversation because I was like, well, I'm not vegan, but I'm not like anti-vegan, and I'm not like I
I
know
would
what's happening.
I would suggest go to the Vegan Easy because you'll find other vegans that are in a similar situation as you that are trying to figure out how veganism works for them. So
Mm-hmm.
they're still new to veganism. And I feel like community is a huge part, especially if you have a family of hunters. It might make you feel a little bit on the outside, even if they do accept your changes. So I would suggest going to the Vegan Easy group, or you can just Google vegan challenges. Let's say you don't like Vegan Easy for some reason. There's a bunch of other options too. I just put this one because it's the one that I like right now. But if you find that you don't like these groups, there's other challenges that have a similar setup where they have new vegans together so that you guys can talk about your obstacles and at least have some kind of community. You can also talk to me or Landon or even Ozark. Any vegans that are up on my panel would totally welcome you into our circles and talk to you about veganism and answer any of your questions, or give you that support that maybe you need if you're having a tough time with your family or friends, because we all understand how that goes, because veganism isn't the norm yet. So there is a lot of this feeling of being different. But when you do it because you're doing it for the right reasons, when you do it for the animals, that motivation, I don't know, the socializing is just part of it, but it doesn't stop me from living my principles. But when you're new to it, it might feel scary because you're doing something different and outside the norm, especially to your family. So I understand that hesitancy, but it sounds like your heart is in the right place. You understand what we're talking about. You wouldn't want to be a part of a group kicking dogs. You said that you wouldn't kick the dog. You said that you don't want to be racist, even if you can't eliminate all racism. So it sounds like, you have the right principles in place. It's just about living in alignment with them. And who knows, you might even influence your family. I don't know how close you are to them, but they might actually hear what you have to say, and they might be willing to like watch Dominion with you. And maybe that'll change their outlook. And even if it doesn't, don't let that hold you back. And like I said, definitely reach out to the groups and talk, because I guarantee there's other people in these groups that are feeling the same way as you, but they still want to make that change because they see the harm that's happening that doesn't need to happen. It's not harm, but exploitation, I should say.
Yeah, I guess one last thing then would be like, uh, so does would it would being vegan include like every animal product, like everything, like
Be
outside of
looking,
just what you
any
eat?
product that comes from an animal, just put yourself in that animal's position. Would you
Mm-hmm.
want to be born into that system, forced to do whatever it is that they're doing so that someone else could benefit off of your body?
No.
Yeah. And
Okay.
just every time, just ask yourself, when you're about to reach for eggs, milk, or someone's flesh, what would you want if you were in that animal's position? And maybe you don't know what position they're in. That's why I suggest watching Dominion, because this just tells you standard practice. This tells you what's legally allowed under those labels, so that when you pick those packages up, if you commit to buying something that's from an animal, you know what you demanded that animal go through, as opposed to just blindly buying it and painting a happy picture in your mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll definitely look into the things you guys are talking about, and also
Yeah,
like
take a screenshot.
yeah, it'll definitely be I think, easier to like just like stop using certain products,
Yeah.
you know, but it'll probably take a while to learn what things they can
Well, so like I
have.
said, take a screenshot and I would watch Dominion. Do that as soon as you get off this live. It's free on YouTube. It is 2 hours, but you know, you sat here for quite a while. I'm sure 2 hours will go by like nothing. And then if we're still live, come up and talk to us. And if not, I'll be live on Wednesday. You can reach out to me then, or anybody that's on the panel. You know, if you follow them, you'll see when they are live and you can tell them what you saw and how you felt about it, or you can just private message me. But I really press that you watch Dominion, and that tells you what you're demanding, right? So then you're an informed consumer at least. And then you can ask yourself, do I really want to give my hard-earned money, like Landon was pointing out to you, do I really want to give my hard-earned dollars to people that do this to animals?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Thanks for the conversation.
One more thing, Nos. Do you have any companion animals right now?
I have a dog. Yeah.
You have a dog. Okay. What's your dog's name?
Sunny.
Sunny. Okay. So what I like to say to people, because really a hard thing for people is making a connection. So imagine Sunny's face. I don't know if you can see them right now, but if not, picture that dog's face. Picture Sunny being the happiest they've ever been.
Mm-hmm.
Picture them being the saddest they've ever been. Like, picture them hurting. It's a horrible thought, but picture them going through pain and being sad and having anxiety. So, are you picturing that right now?
Yeah.
So, that is happening 3 trillion times a year to these other animals. 3 trillion times. So the same things that your dog can feel, that Sunny is feeling, like picture that happening to Sunny 3 trillion times. And it's like the fucking worst thing ever, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Would you consider like you see all these like they're like different styles of farming, different like, you know, like open pasture things, like that kind of stuff. Is that any better?
I mean, you could say that it's better, but you know, you can't make a wrong thing right. It's still wrong. Because think about it, in these like, you know, small farms where they're, you know, quote unquote treating them nice or treating them well, they're still taking their life when that animal does not want to have their life taken, and they're cutting it short. They're still making that animal a commodity, saying we're going to breed these animals for the purpose of using their body.
Interesting. Yeah, I guess that's all I really had.
Right on.
Appreciate you coming up here. Is it Nos? Nos
Yeah.
85. Okay. Appreciate you coming up here, Nos. You know, you asked some genuinely good questions, and I actually do appreciate genuine questions coming from an honest place. That means a lot.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
All right, bye.
Yeah, you have a great day. I do hope you check out those resources, though, because that's the biggest part. All right. Kay, I think I saw you sitting there for a minute. Hey, Kay, are you over 18?
Yep.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I don't believe in it.
What don't you believe in?
I believe that it takes a scientifically inconsistent worldview to try to put animals and humans in the same category.
You recognize that animals are sentient?
No, to pretend that animals are capable of the same type of sentient thought that humans are.
What does sentience mean?
There's different levels of sentience. You're going to try to make the argument that because animals...
Answer the question, please.
I did. I said there's different levels of sentience.
No.
You're going to make
does
the argument
sentience
that
mean?
animals can
Hey,
feel.
Keith, just answer, what does sentience mean?
They're a living being that can feel, that can get scared, that has feelings, probably desires, etc.
That is it. Sentience means being able to
So-
have a subjective experience.
So again, there's levels because he didn't want me to be able to get off what I wanted to say because he felt like that would help his argument. Now that that's done.
What you're pointing at is intelligence. You're saying that humans are more
There's-
intelligent than animals.
Yeah, well, humans are a more sentient. Yeah, it depends. However you want to put it.
So sentience is binary. Sentience is either you do experience emotions or you don't. That's why he was trying to clarify.
If you're able to experience more emotions, wouldn't that mean that you're a more sentient being?
No.
It's not that you're more sentient.
You could make the argument.
It's that you have probably more intelligence in other areas.
I don't know. I would say that if you can
That's
feel
what it
things,
is. It's you are sentient or not, and then from there, it's just different degrees of intelligence.
Okay, so we're arguing nuance here. But anyways, let's talk about that.
This was your point. You said that it was a made-up scientific thing, which I don't even understand that statement.
It's made up to categorize humans.
Do you know how we know that animals are sentient? Do you know the scientific evidence behind it?
Well, I could look at my dog and tell.
Can you just really?
I can just look at my dog and tell.
No, you go ahead.
Like I don't need science to tell.
Key, I just want you to like clarify like how you've come to the conclusion that sentience is made up. Like
no, again, you're trying. I'm saying
no. This is something you said.
The worldview that you have is scientifically inconsistent.
Yeah, I'm asking you to explain that, please.
Because a pig is not the same thing as a person.
That's not explaining like what.
Right. A pig is
not. I
the
want
same.
you to explain exactly why it's inconsistent or made up, please. I don't want you to deflect to like, well, this or that. I want you to explain like what specifically demonstrates that to be true.
Animal suffering is more, in my opinion.
That's your opinion. I'm not looking for your opinion. I'm looking for something that's a matter of fact, please.
Okay. Then animal suffering is a reaction to stimuli. Human suffering is different. Human suffering.
Okay. Again, can you demonstrate where that has been like factually proven?
Would you like me? Are you asking me to cite scientific studies?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yes, I'm happy to cite scientific studies.
Well, these are big claims that you're asserting, and if there's no evidence that supports your claim, all it is again is your opinion.
Would you like to have a conversation, or would you like me to pause the TikTok live and then be like, oh, okay?
Well, Key, you're spewing stuff that it sounds like you don't even know what you're exactly talking about.
Right, hold on.
Yeah, you can briefly exit the app and pull up a piece of research since you know for a matter of fact that's the case.
I guess I don't understand. Is he saying that sentience is not real, or that he believes in degrees of sentience?
Well, it's inconsistent because he's saying that sentience is
degrees of sentience.
Hey,
Humans have
did you
a
find that
higher degree
research?
Of sentience
Yeah, I don't
animals.
care. I don't care what you have to say right now. I want that
so
data source.
Yes, you. By the way, yes, the guy who the woman who's just spoken over by this gentleman here. Yes, you're understanding what I'm saying correctly. There's levels of sentience. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I'm saying that it's illogical to look at a human being. You
literally just said that it's inconsistent in a made-up human construct. That's literally what you said. So your explanation to her.
You're intentionally misunderstanding.
Stop. No, your explanation to her and to me is inconsistent because you just said it was a made-up human construct and that humans experience
I was referring to veganism.
Oh, veganism is made up. Oh.
We're not right now. We're talking about sentience. Okay. We're talking about sentience specifically right now.
This is bizarre.
Yeah, I am confused. So I already addressed this too. I said that sentience is like an on-off switch. You either are experiencing sentience or not. And then from there, it's just intelligence. But let's say that there are degrees to sentience, right? We could even steel man this. Even if there were degrees of sentience, we have humans that are less sentient than animals, right? We still respect them because they're sentient. When we see a human, we don't care how intelligent they are. We don't care what they look like, right? We don't care what their priorities are. We respect humans because they care what happens to them. That's the point. That's what sentience means. Someone making preferences and they prefer to avoid harm and keep living. And if we can avoid demanding someone's oppression who is able to have a subjective experience, then we should. Just like you would want someone to avoid demanding your oppression. That's what we're getting to. So
And
That's the line of reasoning I was going to go down.
Yeah.
Yeah, the line of reasoning I was going to go down is like, even if we could prove that one sentience is any more or less valuable
I
than the
have a
other,
study.
it's
I
still
literally have a study
arbitrary.
that states that
Okay. I'll be quiet, Ozark, if you want to
would like
respond.
see it. If you would like to see the study.
Yeah, what's the title? Just give me the title, please.
yeah, even if he's correct, which he's not,
Well,
Just
I'm just.
because-
You guys said that it was untrue, and there's a scientific paper. There's two. There's one from 2013, and then a follow-up in 2019 that states that that is true. I'm just saying. So we can have the conversation
What's
on
the
the
title?
ground.
Yeah, I asked for the title. That was it. I have no issue reading the research.
No, you
That's what I
just
asked for.
attacked and did not even allow me to get my points out until I sent you a fucking paper. And
You
dude,
made a
What's the
claim.
title? What's
You
the
made
title?
a claim that's
Literally,
important to the
you're crashing
conversation.
out, bro. You're crashing out.
Key, you made a claim that's very relevant to the conversation that I asked for evidence for. That way I can understand whether something is actually true
my
or not.
worldview is that animals are less sentient
my
than
God.
humans, and therefore cannot feel the same level of feelings. Therefore, it's insane to spend all your time caring
Okay,
about.
okay,
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 let me-
okay, okay. Can I
Sorry.
do that's can I do what I
It's your
want to
opinion.
dogs? Can I do what I
In
want
what,
to them?
in what sense?
I want to breed them for dog fighting and make
You're
money off of it.
capable. You're capable, sure.
Do
You have
you-
you have two
Or
arms.
is
Hold
it
on,
ethically
Key.
permissible?
Yeah, Key, in your worldview, do you find it moral that I'm going to start breeding dogs for dog fighting?
Honestly, do you want me to be honest?
Of course.
I wouldn't fight my dog, nor would I ever own a dog that
That's not
would
answering my
fight.
question.
But I don't have. Hold on, it's because you didn't let me finish. But I don't have a problem if somebody else wanted to do that. No.
So you suck.
Yeah, you think it's moral for people to breed dogs, put them in a pen and fight to the death?
Do you think it's moral for kids to dig cobalt out of a mine so that you can have an
So
iPhone?
I want to get this straight,
on
Key.
TikTok
You
Live and
think
complain about people eating.
Key, come on.
Deflecting.
Come on. Yeah,
You
you're
think it's
hella
moral to have
deflecting.
a-
It's funny that you can't answer whether it's why it's wrong or why it's right for me to have a dog fighting pin. Like I start to break it down to you what I'm going to do and you can't even focus. You have to then jump to another topic.
Told you that I
Like
don't-
why do you think I would ask you about dog fighting? Why would I ask you about dog fighting specifically?
Because I said I have a dog. I don't know.
So I'm asking because it's unnecessary, right? We don't need to have dogfighting rings to be entertained. Right? I can go be entertained by something else. I don't need dogs to
Sure.
unalive each other.
Sure. Okay, but my point when I brought up the cell phone is we don't need cell phones to be entertained. It takes a ton of human suffering to make the phone that you're talking on right now,
Stop.
including
Stop,
a suicide
stop.
net around
Would
the
you
factory.
take a chill pill? Dude, just take it down a notch. We're literally trying to have a conversation with you and you're like on level 10. Do you want me to meet you at your energy or do you want to come down to my energy? So
It literally, again,
is it
everything
okay?
is about emotion.
It's not. It's about recognizing that they have emotions. The dogs,
Okay, well
they
then,
don't.
can you
They
answer
feel
for the fact
fear
that you
and
have
pain. Key.
Can you answer for the fact that you have
Key, calm down. God, I will move on if you can't focus.
He's saying we're being emotional.
Yeah, you're hella emotional.
To answer your question about dogs, then I know more about dogs than you probably, so I will go
Okay.
ahead and unpack your thing. The American Pit Bull Terrier is the main fighting dog in America. Is
Are you
this
going
what
to
dog
yap
you were
forever? Or are
referring
you going to
to?
answer the questions? Why is it wrong for me to breed dogs for dog fighting?
It's not wrong. It's not wrong.
So it's right. It should be legal then
It's
for me to
not
do it.
wrong or right. The
So you're
dog wants to do
you're
it.
saying it should be legal that I start dog fighting rings.
I don't think that there's anything wrong.
I'm gonna start advocating for it to happen where I'm at. Is that right? Should I do that?
So, can I just interject really quick, please?
Sure.
These dogs are trained to do it. They don't necessarily want to do it or not. That is a wild assertion.
You're not correct about this.
I am correct about that. I'm familiar with canines. Okay.
Then what do you know about
for
the American
example,
Pit Bull
I
Terrier?
rescue working dogs. Right. I have in one specific case, a Malinois that was bred for protection. Right. That doesn't necessarily mean that she wants to do it.
No, I agree. I don't think Malinois are good man biters. They're not.
Oh, they're bred for that, and they're
No,
whatever.
they are. They're a herding shepherd dog. Come on.
Yeah, but they're bred for many different purposes, right?
Right, but
that's why
were-
they are like one of the number one dogs.
They're extremely
No,
intelligent.
hold on. That's why they're like one of the number one dogs used in law enforcement and the military because of their capabilities that are superior to many other dogs when it comes to the traits that they were bred for and their specific intelligence. So that's also a wild assertion that you just made, but that's irrelevant. No.
Malinois are great with the military.
Key, let me finish. Let's go back to sentience, right?
Right.
True or false? I'm going to ask you true or false really quick. When it comes to sentience, somebody of lesser sentience or it is ethically permissible to exploit them.
Are you asking me or are you making a statement?
In your world, I'm asking you true or false. Somebody that you deem or could be
human being or an animal?
And okay, fine. Let's just say an animal.
Yes, I do.
Okay. Now, next question: true or false? Humans are animals.
Yes, by biologically.
So humans are animals. Therefore, they would also be considered in that if we want to be logically
an
consistent.
animal of a different species. If you want to try to again.
Okay, so it's not really sentience. Then it's not really sentience. It's species variant, right?
It's a combination of the two.
Okay, can you explain how that's logical when one specifically can't hold up to scrutiny?
Because I care more about my species.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with sentience, it's species.
No, you asked specifically about the species, so I answered that question.
No, I asked specifically about the conjunction of traits that
you're asking about
which neither can hold up individually.
Okay, yeah, like, would I think that it's right to
I
eat
didn't ask if it was right or wrong. I asked if it would be ethically permissible.
All right, can you restate your question?
Okay, so it is morally permissible or ethically permissible to exploit someone of lesser sentience.
And are we speaking someone meaning person or animal? Or are we saying person?
I'll grant in this specific circumstance, I'll grant non-human animals.
Then yes. Like,
all right, cool. Then hold on. True or false? Humans are animals.
Yes, but we're already
okay. So humans are also animals. So logically, we need to add them to that spectrum. So that being the case, now overall,
that's where we have a disagreement.
Okay, and you then that's where I asked you to explain.
And what I would explain is humans, as a whole, on average, have a completely different life than an animal.
So every single animal. Every single animal has a completely different experience according to their own biology than another, just like every single human does from each other.
The only difference is our biology allows us to have a different level of sentience than they do. It's like
I think you're conflating
it's like a super complicated concept.
I think you're conflating sentience with intellectual capacity.
Yeah,
I think that you didn't read the study that I sent.
You really
you never sent me a study. You didn't give me.
I read you the name. Of course.
No, you didn't. I missed it because you were like talking about other stuff. I never got that study. I was waiting, and you started talking to Anna, VSL.
Just say that you didn't hear it and you'd like me to repeat it.
Key, if you're outside the app, we can't hear you. So if you read the title while outside the app, we didn't hear you.
Yeah, but even so, like, let's say I grant you that humans can experience a higher level of sentience themselves. Not even all humans would experience sentience the same. Would it be ethically permissible to exploit a baby that isn't experiencing a high level of sentience like an adult is, or a toddler, or somebody with a traumatic brain injury? Would that be ethically permissible since they have less sentience than I do?
No, and that's where I brought the
Why not?
speciesism. I brought the speciesism into
Okay,
it.
so then it has nothing to
So it's
do
a
with the
combination of the
sentience. It has
both.
everything to do with the species.
It's a combination of the both. But yes, it has a lot
It
to do with
can.
the
It
species.
cannot be a
That's
like.
why
It
I
can't be a
personally would eat a
combination.
pig and not a dog.
No, it cannot be a combination of both when neither actually hold up to the test of scrutiny.
I
Because you're saying
disagree.
these two are inconsistent,
I
but
disagree.
combined they're somehow.
I think that it would be more wrong to exploit a chimpanzee or an orangutan than it would
Are you willing to be wrong?
I think we don't see eye to eye on this. So I
Are
don't
you
know
willing to be wrong?
Yeah, sure. Do you want to read the study and then or no?
You still haven't given us the title of this mysterious study, but it doesn't even matter.
I even granted, just for the sake of the argument that what you are saying is true, right? It is still an inconsistency because you are saying it is okay if I draw this line here when
Right.
anybody else can draw that line anywhere else.
Right.
And you say it's wrong if they do so.
Because I
So
feel
I'm going
as
to
though
provide you a
that the
hypothetical here really
research.
quickly.
Okay, wait.
No, the research is irrelevant. That's my point. You're arguing an arbitrary metric in this circumstance based on where you believe in your own opinion that is not factual, where it is okay to draw that line.
I guess where
So
the
do you think
researchers feel that it's
it is
okay.
ethically permissible for like somebody who might be racist to act according to that and oppress others because that's where they draw the line?
So are we
In your
talking
world,
about
in
veganism
your
or
world, is it
racism?
ethically permissible?
You want to know if I think it's okay to be racist or if it's okay to
I didn't
act on
say
it.
okay. I said ethically permissible for people that act that way to act according and oppress others because
Okay, yeah.
that is their line.
Again, I like I said, for me personally, my moral compass puts humans above animals. Humans should not treat other humans that way.
Okay, so you're not answering the question. In your worldview, is that ethically permissible?
I just answered the question. I
Okay,
said
so do you
humans should
think
not
somebody
treat
else
other
should face
humans that way.
consequences for do you think somebody else should face consequences for acting according?
Depending on what the oppression is. I believe that if the oppression is verbal, they should have the right in America to do
So
it.
if it is equivalent to like what you do that ends in the equal amount of harm, but it's just different because of your own value system.
If it ends with unaliving another human, I think that's wrong. If that's what you're trying to do.
Okay, so my last question for you is why should their value system not be considered, but yours should?
I think that
Why is theirs less relevant? How can you consistently explain
I
that?
can actually answer this really easily. I personally think, and
I don't care what you
okay, hold on.
think.
First
I
of
want to
all, let
know
me
like
say,
what factual difference there
I'm
is.
open to being wrong. So if you guys know any research about this that states otherwise, let me know. But from what I've read and what I've seen, there's very little differences between the different races. So that worldview isn't scientifically consistent unless you guys have any research that I don't know about.
Okay, so
That black people are better
that's
than white
irrelevant.
people or white
You're
people are better than black
misunderstanding.
people, then I don't know how that worldview makes any sense scientifically. But maybe you guys know about some research that I don't know.
Are you saying that we should do research to find out if one race
No,
is better
I'm
than the
saying that
other?
I was saying that he was intimating that there may be some difference between
So
the
you're
races.
saying that we need to study the differences between races to see
I
who
was
is the
being-
better one?
you're-
Because based on your
Listen,
logic,
you're-
scientifically,
you're-
Key, if we
you're-
find out scientifically that one race is better than the other, by your logic, that better race has the right to dominate the less better races. This is your logic right now.
Yeah, no, like I said,
But that's also
I
a
have not
misrepresentation
seen
of my
any
question.
research that states
That's
that
a
there's any level-
misrepresentation of my question, Key. I want you to answer my question. Because in this instance, somebody is making their decision based off of their value of phenotype.
Okay, so
right?
they value blue
No, hold
eyes
on.
or
Let me
blonde hair.
finish. Let me finish. I'm going to re-clarify the question. Why should their opinion and the arbitrary line that they draw be any less valid than yours?
Because I'm gonna say, you realize I'm gonna say this because if there was any kind of phenotypical change that made humans better, I would support acting like those people were better.
Okay, so you're essentially a Yahtzee, is what you're saying. Like,
No, I don't
yeah,
think so.
that's pretty much what you just implied.
Right.
You're
Hey, just so you know,
like,
you're
if you
calling
can,
a
no,
black guy a
if you can
Nazi.
find a
You're
difference
calling a
between
black
humans,
guy.
you would think
You're
it's
spending
okay
your
to
time
Your
calling a
exploit
logic-
black guy
other
He-
who's
humans
actually
who are a
experienced racism.
horrible human being. I am done talking with you.
Who's black and has experienced racism.
Look, I'm really sorry that you've experienced racism. That's terrible. But right now, you are using the same rhetoric as a Yahtzee. You literally are.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Oh, why are you sorry? He should be sorry. He's the one saying it's okay to find arbitrary traits and deem one race even or species as better than the other, and then might makes right is okay. That's all he was arguing, and he kept going over it and thinking he was saying it differently, but he was saying it the exact same way every time.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, and what's crazy is like you can believe that humans are superior than other animals, whatever. That doesn't mean that you have to exploit those other animals.
Right.
They do have sentience, and even if you think that they have humans have a higher amount of sentience, which makes no fucking sense. You realize that these animals do have sentience. They can feel. They can feel. So why would you want to inflict any kind of harm or exploitation on them? It's fucking nuts.
Exactly.
Well, that's what I was trying to mention. Like, even if we did grant that sentience should be discriminated by levels, that line's still going to be arbitrary because there are humans that differ in levels of sentience than other humans. And that's always like, well, species too. And I'm like, it has nothing to do with sentience then.
Yeah.
As soon as you made that, he was like, oh no, not a baby or someone with lower cognition, not those humans. It's about being human then. It's like, okay, well, so now you're just doing group. You're just saying, because you're not in my group, it's okay for me to dominate you. And that's essentially the same thing, or it's very similar to racism. It's just like,
Exactly.
what? Oh, hey, Smiles. This is Smiles. They're vegan. Hey, Smiles.
Hey.
Hey, Smiles. I'm going to have to drop down as soon as my wife gets back from the post office because we got to run to the dump.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you being up here, Ozark, really. You have a great plethora of knowledge, and I just really appreciate you being up here, so thank you. Everyone should go follow
Yeah, thanks
Ozark.
for having me. I'm trying to listen more than talk, but like I just had to hop in on that one.
Yeah. I don't really care for debate bros, and I don't know always the language that they want to speak in, so I'm glad that you have a little more of the lingo under your belt, so that definitely helps.
Yeah, I looked at his profile, and I know that type of dude, just that super loud, like, I run into these people at the fucking bar where they have to just seem like the more dominant person in the conversation, and it fucking sucks.
If they just keep talking, they feel like they're winning the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what it felt like. All right, I'm going to bring up the next. And then Ozark, whenever you ever drop out, you're welcome. Just do whatever you need to. All right, bringing up Yeti. Hey, Yeti.
Good afternoon.
Hi, are you over 18?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
What year were you born?
I was born early 2007, and yes, I know that is off-putting, but I was born a couple months before what today's month is, and I'm not trying to drop my birthday. I'm sorry.
I think I'm going to move on. I can't talk to kids. If you can just be straightforward, that'd be better. Hey, KJD, are you over 18?
I am.
Okay. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I'm not vegan because I don't value non-sentient animals.
Okay, I don't value non-sentient animals either. What about the sentient ones?
Yeah, I do value them, yeah.
Okay. So why aren't you vegan then?
Because I don't share the same ethical stance as a vegan. I follow sentiocentrism. As well as I don't like it's like, I don't place value on just them being a living animal, but more just whether they have sentience or not, and that doesn't just apply to like animals, but like everything in general.
Then you'd be a vegan.
Yeah.
Not really.
If you value sentience, you would not. Sorry, you go ahead.
No, no,
You go
you
ahead.
go ahead. Go ahead. I'll mute. Go ahead.
I
Yeah,
just
so
mean like,
if
I'm
you
sorry.
value sentience, the animals that you're consuming are sentient. The products that you're buying from animals are from sentient animals.
Yeah, but the definition of veganism is reducing exploitation to animals.
No, it's being against the exploitation of sentient beings. So if you are consuming animals and their products, then you're going against your own
You
values.
know, I don't consume animal products.
You don't consume any animal products.
No, but I just don't put myself in a vegan group.
Yeah, I mean that I guess that's fine, but if you if you don't consume animals or their products or any product created from animals, then you would be classified as a vegan. If you're doing it because you don't want to exploit them, that's veganism.
There is a difference.
Okay. I mean, sure. I guess if you want there to be a difference, that's fine. But if you aren't using animals because they're sentient and you're against that, then you're in line with what we're saying.
Like sentium, it's like a broader ethical framework.
I'm not understanding. What is the difference?
Are you here to discuss sentientism or like what's your deal?
So like I would say the difference would be like
No, hold on. I just want to clarify your position really quick. Are you here to like debate veganism versus sentientism?
like kind of, but also just
But
like
that because that's not the point of this discussion. Any practicing sentientist should logically practice veganism, right? But when it comes to like discussing veganism versus sentientism and why one is any more correct or not, that's not what this discussion is about. This discussion is specifically to address the unnecessary exploitation of other sentient individuals.
okay.
So are you still using any sentient animals?
No.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's
And
we align.
I was going to say, like, I don't know if there's any more we could talk about then. If you're already on the same page, that's all I want. I really don't care if you call yourself vegan or not. That's fine. I just use it as shorthand because I only have so much space, right? Vegan is a pretty clear word. I mean,
Yeah.
don't demand the exploitation of sentient beings. So it's okay
Yeah, and a
if
lot
you
of
don't.
people don't understand. Oh,
Oh, please.
sorry.
No,
I
please
was
go
gonna say,
ahead.
as I say, a lot of people don't actually know what sentientism is. I actually would consider myself to align with sentientism itself. But when we use the term vegan, like you can use that as one who practices the philosophy of veganism, and a sentientist that practices veganism could also be called a vegan even if they don't claim that title. Like I say I practice veganism or I say I
Yeah.
practice a philosophy. The title itself is irrelevant. If you're practicing the philosophy, you're a practitioner of that philosophy. If you want to call yourself one or the other, by all means do it, but it just takes away from the conversation that we're trying to have with people that are actively oppressing others.
Yeah, no, the only reason I don't consider myself a vegan is because like I've talked to loads of vegans, right? And I've had like a lot of debates and arguments about them. Like for instance, like sea urchins, they'll say it's unethical to eat them, and I'm like, well, my view will say, well, it's not because they're not sentient, but they're like, well, it's an animal, and you're exploiting them,
Oh,
right?
the issue isn't
So
whether.
my
Go ahead, please. I keep interrupting, please.
uh, oh, it's okay. I was just going to say my only argument against that specific practice is that they do demonstrate neurotransmission using neurotransmitters that humans have, such as like dopamine and other stuff. So within ethics, for me, logically err on the side of caution. But if they're determined not to be sentient, like as a matter of fact, then I wouldn't have an argument against that.
Yeah, no, that's the only reason I don't consider myself vegan, because vegans wouldn't eat sea urchins based on that, whereas I would, because I don't. There is plausible evidence to suggest they're
Why are
not
you eating
sentient.
sea urchins? That's kind of weird.
I don't know. It tastes good.
I used to eat uni.
Oh,
Not harming anyone.
okay.
It's not.
Well,
I mean,
can I?
go ahead.
I was going to ask, just from an ethic, like, do you follow like the principles of ethics?
Yes.
So if there's the possibility that it is there based on like based on the neurotransmission that they've demonstrated within different studies, like wouldn't it be logical to err on the side of caution in that circumstance?
Yes, but everything
So
has the
then that's an
possibility of doing
inconsistency
something.
within your own philosophy then.
Well,
And while
they've
you're
been
trying to
proven to
critique
not be
us.
sentient. At the
Say,
moment, they've been proven not to be sentient.
no, at the moment it's still speculative. They're saying they're not sentient because it hasn't been proven yet, but they are, as research goes on, they are demonstrating that the possibility is there. And if the possibility is there,
They lack
then we should
central
err
brain
on
and
the side of
complex nervous
caution.
systems associated with consciousness suffering. At the, I've searched it up just now. It says no, sea urchins are not. They are not considered sentient because they lack the central brain and complex nervous system
Yeah,
associated with
I
consciousness.
understand that, but like again, they demonstrate transmission similar to what we do using similar neurotransmitters, right? Like dopamine, etc. Right. So even though they haven't necessarily been concluded to be sentient because of the current criteria, they still act similar, like when it comes to like responding like to different circumstances that generate fear or like other types of basic emotions that other animals might have using those neurotransmissions. Like in the case of jellyfish, they don't have a brain. They're not technically considered to be sentient, but they have several different types of like what could be considered nervous systems. They retain memory. They respond to like different circumstances that we would respond to, like similarly, like out of fear and other stuff, and express aversion to these types of things, right? And to a basic level, down to like sea urchins and other mollusks, even though they're not technically considered sentient by our standards, they still demonstrate some of these behaviors at a primitive level different of plants. They're part of the animal kingdom, right? So I just want to express, like, from an ethical standpoint, erring on the side of caution just to me is the logical conclusion. And that's all I have to say about it.
Yeah, I can understand your view, but
I also
we
read
just
that
don't share the same.
sea urchins do react to energy and noxious stimuli by moving away, reacting with spines and increasing their activity, which these do appear to be nociceptor reflexes, which is the nerve endings that we have that tell us when we're experiencing excruciating pain. So I don't know. I would err on the side of caution as well. If it's not necessary that you use them and you're not totally sure if they can feel or not, it's safer to just not use them. I also
Well,
would.
plants
I would also.
respond to stimuli too. Like
They
they'll
don't move
move towards
away.
sunlight.
They don't move away. If you
No,
cut
I'm
off
saying
their
like
leaf,
plants will
they
move
don't
towards sunlight.
move or anything. So these guys are
Yeah, they
moving
have nerve
away.
ganglia.
Yeah, they have a
Plants
nerve.
don't.
Yeah, they have a nerve net and they have a little nerve ring around their mouth. So it doesn't matter. You don't really need to use them is the point, right? Like, do you shop at a grocery store or are you surviving off of sea urchins?
No, I don't really go to the shops.
Okay. Well, I would also like to point out that since you're a sentience, I don't remember what it's
Yeah.
called. That's actually beyond veganism. Like, I would say veganism is almost smaller in that we're focusing on animals, whereas
Yeah.
your belief is anything that is sentient. So I don't know why you're pushing sea urchins when you're considering all beings that are sentient. Like, why are you then going on the fringe cases and abusing them when you could just eat plants and fungi?
I mean, I personally don't eat like sea urchins or jellyfish, but like morally,
Okay.
I would be if someone was doing it, I would find that not to be morally unpermissible. Like I wouldn't be like, don't do that, it's immoral. I'd be like, I personally wouldn't have
It's
the
still
evidence to them say
it's
to them
still
not to do it.
terrible because they clearly don't want to feel pain, and they're going to feel pain if their life is taken. They move away from pain because they want to live, right? That's a basic thing of sentience. I understand that they're not proven sentient, but that's a pretty clear sign that they don't want to be used. Plants don't do that. Fungi don't do that.
Well,
I
I
would
would
just
say
err on
that's
the side of
similar to like
caution.
I would say that'd be like similar to say if a human, right, were to become brain dead, but like mentally they were brain dead, no chance of waking up, but they still reacted to like someone like poking them, and then they had a nervous response to that, but mentally they were brain dead. I would have no like I'd be like, yeah, okay, turn the machine off.
Okay, but the thing is, the question is not really that we know that they're brain dead, right? We just know that they're not, or we don't think they're sentient, right? So they could be. That's why it's probably, like, would you find it then, if someone's brain dead, would you find it moral that we let people grape them?
I mean,
Their heartbeat's
morally
still
they wouldn't
going,
be
but they're brain
anything.
dead.
People have asked me this before, and I think it's like
It's a
I have the
disrespect,
same
right?
reaction to that as like if someone were to say like, okay, say if someone went out in the street or something like that, right? Because obviously if this happened, someone would know about it, right? Like maybe the person who happened to wouldn't know about it, but I'm sure people around this situation would know it's happened, right?
Okay.
So it'd be like someone going in the street and like say getting an inflatable doll or something and just started ripping it in the street, right?
Yeah,
It'd be like it wouldn't
I
be
would still
pleasant.
feel differently though if it was a brain dead human who still has their heart beating versus an inflatable toy. I personally would feel differently about that, wouldn't you?
I wouldn't say it'd be immoral, but it would be disgusting, and I wouldn't
I
want
mean, I
anyone
would
to do that or
argue
to do
you should
such thing.
err on the side of caution, right? Because we don't really know, because that's the whole point. The point is this brain dead person, we don't actually know if they're brain dead, right? We think they might be, because we're trying to make it related to the sea
Yeah.
urchin, right? We don't know if a sea urchin is brain dead. We think maybe they're not sentient, but we don't know for sure. They have a nerve ganglia. They respond to noxious stimuli, right? They respond in a way that shows no nociception, excuse me. So I would say that they, to me, show some sign of possibly being sentient. So this brain dead person would show some signs of avoiding pain. And if that was the case, I would say it is immoral for you to grape them in the street.
I mean, the differentiating factor would be like a human we know for certain as possible sentience because they've had past sentience, right? Which
Well,
would
we could even steel man you. We could say this individual was born this way, just plopped out. We don't know if they're sentient.
never had sentience.
Yeah. We don't know. We don't know. They were just born and they have some little signal in there, right? They do avoid harm. We see that this individual that was born, they avoid harm, and there's some kind of signaling going on in there, right? I would still say it's immoral for you to grape that individual or to do what you want to that individual. We can step away from grape. I'm just using it as an extreme example.
Yeah.
Because that's what we do to animals a lot. So, do you see my point though? Like, even though they have just this little sign, it's like, well, then it's immoral. They're there. There's someone there.
I mean, I do see what you're saying, but if the current data is pointing towards them not being sentient, then it's like I wouldn't do it because I personally don't have like an urge to eat sea urchins, but it's like
Yeah, that's not what I'm really here for. I'm not here to argue about the fringe animals because we don't typically use those animals. Those that do, I mean, like I said, we already went down the path. You agree with me that if someone, or maybe I should ask, if that baby was born the way we described, right? We don't know if they're sentient, but they avoid harm. Would you say it is moral or immoral to cook them into bacon? Immoral or moral to cook this individual into bacon?
Do they have like, could they feel stuff like?
They're just like the sea urchin. We don't know. We know that they avoid harm. They avoid noxious stimuli. They don't like being cut. They move away from it. That's all we know.
Well, this would be my answer. If they were sentient, no, I would say
that's the
be
thing.
immoral.
We don't know. That's what I'm telling you. We do not know if they're sentient, but they have nociception, so they move away from pain. That's all we know so far.
I would probably just say it would be immoral because there's a chance it's like that, possibly, they could be sentient, they could feel this, and it would be a horrible experience, right?
Exactly.
But
Exactly.
if there was like that, but if that option was like between, okay, would you rather cook a human who's sentient right now, knowing exactly what's going on, or cook that possibly sentient child?
Absolutely,
I'd
I
say
would
cook the
pick.
possibly
Yeah.
sentient child.
Yep. I would
Because
cook the possibly not sentient child. Yes, I agree with you.
because there's 100% harm going to be committed in one
Yep.
action, and a possibility of harm committed in another action, which I'd be like, well, which one is
Right, but
causing
that's
less
not
harm
your
or
choices,
less
right?
possible harm?
Your choices are the baby that possibly isn't sentient and then plants and fungi. Those are
Yeah.
your options. So it's not that you're even choosing between a fully cognizant baby and this other baby. It's that you're choosing to just avoid using this baby because you're not sure, and you'll eat the actually non-sentient, like plants and fungi. They don't have a nerve net or a nerve system or any organ to express sentience. They just little molecules bumping into each other.
Yeah, I mean, there's a possibility for everything, really. Like, there's a chance that a plant could be sentient.
Okay, so in the
There's that
argument,
possibility.
there are studies that have looked at this, and every study that says plants might be sentient is not replicated reliably. They can't replicate these findings, so it's just one-off. That doesn't prove anything, right? It takes repeating
But
something
there's still
over and
that
over
like
again.
possibility in the
So
same
there's
like
a
sea
there's a
urchin.
paper that goes over the last 50 years of studies that focus on plant sentience, and like I said, all the ones that say plants might be sentient are not replicated reliably, whereas those studies that look at these same instances as just reactions to stimuli, like the music and talking nicely to them or whatever, they find that it's just stimuli. They're reacting to vibrations or the water or the temperature. It's not about the warm fuzzy feelings that you're trying to present to them. Plants don't make a preference. They just survive in the environment that they're in. And if they don't, then they don't continue. They don't make preferences. They just exist.
Yeah.
Because yes, they have some kind of chemical reaction when you cut them, but again, it's just stimuli. It's not actually them responding and thinking about it and saying, "Oh, that hurts. I don't like that." There's a difference.
Yeah, I mean, I get what you're saying. Yeah, sure.
Go ahead, Smiles.
Stoner Lady, can I go ahead and say something? Okay. Also, you were. Oh, I think yeah, you're muted. Anyway, so, what I wanted to say was right about the sea urchins, is that like they were saying, it's not conclusive that they're not sentient. So that's why I want to eat them. On top of that, also, is that I would want to reduce harm and suffering, right? So, like, why would I eat them if they are a primary food source or a good food source for other animals? According to the World Economic Forum, with research done at the University of California, Santa Cruz, sea urchins are eaten by I believe it's like sea otters, or yeah, I think it was like sea otters. They're eaten by them. And then according to also I saw another source, hold on. According to the Woods Hole Oceanographic Institute as well, urchins are eaten by like starfish and birds, etc. So I don't need to eat them.
Would it be alright for me to ask you guys some questions as well?
Yeah, that's fine. I might cut it short here soon, or want us to wrap it up because we've been talking for 20 minutes, and I like to try to keep things flowing. But go ahead.
I'll just keep it to one question. Do you guys share the same belief of like? Do you guys think it's immoral for other animals to eat other animals?
So, yes, I think that it's immoral that animals harm each other, but I can't do anything about it. I can't communicate with them. They're in a situation where they're just surviving day to day. They themselves are not moral agents like you and I. They don't understand the full complexity of morality. They don't even have the time and space to practice morality. Because us humans, we're not very moral either. Children, not very moral. We have to bump into boundaries. We have to be told what's moral. And then we learn over time, right? We practice what morality is. So animals don't have that luxury. So I wouldn't hold them to the same standard as a moral agent adult, just like I don't hold children to the same standard as moral agent adults.
Yeah, no, that was the answer I would also share, because I've asked this question to a few other claimed vegans, and they said no, it's not. That they don't see it as immoral because they can't, like, kind of as is your reasoning. Kind of they just said, well, it's not immoral because they have no choice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
And I was
like
like, well,
it.
it's still immoral.
Yeah, it's still immoral. If I could communicate with a lion and give them an alternative, I would. I would totally do that. In fact, I'm hoping that we can get lab-grown flesh to not be involved with using animals at all. Like, they could just have some cells that they just reproduce forever and never have to use another animal. That would be great. And if we could utilize that, we could feed all these carnivorous animals. I don't know what the right
Yeah.
plan is because I'm not a conservationist, and there definitely needs to be conservationists on that plan. But we also need vegans to be conservationists. So, yeah, it starts with our mindset on viewing animals, or not just viewing them, but recognizing their sentience like you already do, and just living those actions through every way in our life, you know, the best we can.
All
I
right, well,
understand you don't
cheers
want
for
to
having
carry
me
the.
up.
Okay, fair enough. All right, you have a great day, and you know, if you have any other questions, please feel free to reach out. Okay.
All right, have a nice day.
You too. Thanks for coming up. That's the first time I've had someone say they're sentience. Sentiences? I don't know how to say it. I keep messing it up. Sentiences? Anyway, I'm like, oh, I didn't realize it's like, it considers like aliens and whatever. And I do understand that veganism, we are focused on other animals. But I imagine most vegans would be sentiences if like an alien invasion happened. When I watch, what's that movie, District 9? I mean, that right
That's a
there
good
shows
movie.
you. Yeah, they show you they're basically being speciesist against the aliens, even though apparently the aliens are more like us than we thought. So, yeah, I think vegans would still be also sentience. I don't know. I looked it up and then I hid it from myself. I don't know where I put it. Too many windows I have open. Because I was trying to, there's some things, some concepts I don't know, and I'm totally welcome to learning. So if anybody wants to share something, I'm fine with that as long as they're not long-winded about it. But, oh, we have some requests. Fire Dude. Oh, Kingson. I'll bring you up too. I'm going to talk to Fire Dude first, Kingson, and then I'll totally chat with you. Hi, Fire Dude. Are you over 18?
Oh yeah, by several years. I'm
Okay.
56.
Right on. Welcome up. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Because I know better.
What does that mean? No better than what?
I work in healthcare. Believe it. Well, you can figure it out probably from my handle. But I've talked with the dietitians and the nutritionists that we employ at my hospital system, and they're not for veganism. They think it's a fallacy, and they've told me it's a fallacy.
How is it a
And
fallacy?
they've actually given me 4 groups that should never be on a plant-based diet. And I
Okay.
find it very unethical that people like you push the plant-based diet
Okay.
because you
Give
could be
me
causing
those
harm
4
to people.
conditions.
Children, adolescents, pregnant women, and lactating mothers.
Okay, so the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, the
Nah,
largest
no.
body of professionals that focus on how nutrition affects your health, all state that a vegan diet is safe and healthy for all stages of life, including
And they're wrong.
pregnancy. The largest body of nutritionists, so you're one nutritionist and one dietitian against this whole organization?
Try like 8.
Oh, so you're
all
8
agree the same way.
nutritions. I just want to repeat this again. I'm going to repeat this. You're 8 nutritionist dietitians versus the entire Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics.
Yes, because they're a biased
So
organization. That's why.
what studies have your 8 people done?
Well, because of my
Probably
depression,
0.
I had to take a year.
Probably 0.
Shut up and let me talk.
Wow, you can go
No.
fuck yourself. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
fucking
not
moron.
okay. Yeah, that guy's an idiot, and I'm pretty sure he's lying.
And
Liar.
he said children, pregnant women, and women lactating. Is he any of those things?
Such a good point. Yeah, such a good point. Yeah, exactly, Ben. Trust me, bro, over scientific consensus. Exactly. Yeah, that's so silly. And the fact that I called him out and then he says, to shut up. It's like, oh, so you just came up here already triggered. You're not up here to actually have a conversation. Kingson, how you doing?
Hi, I'm so sorry about the previous speaker.
It's
You
okay.
didn't deserve that.
He's
You didn't
immature.
deserve it.
Water on my back. I don't care.
Good. You're doing a great job. I'm going to get out. Briefly want to mention to you, you're doing a great job. Thank you for your good work. Continue to do so. And here is one Canadian who loves your work. And have you ever seen episode of uh, Twilight Zone called The Cookbook?
No. I have seen The Twilight Zone, but I don't know if I saw that specific episode.
It's related to what we are talking about. Aliens come, or ambassador of aliens come to Earth, and they said that we love you, people of Earth, and we only want to serve you. And he leaves, and he says, next time I'm going to take visitors to my planets. And he leaves a book, and they try to translate the title of the book, and it says, How to Serve Mankind. So humans were impressed. They said, look, he was telling the truth. He's coming here to serve mankind. And it's fine. He's decent. He was honest. So one of the professors, linguistic professors, agrees to be one of the first humans to travel to that planet when they come back. So he comes back and he takes like hundreds of Earth people to visit his planet. And as the door of the spaceship is closing, the secretary is running and say, get off the spaceship, get off the spaceship. We translated the book, How to Serve Mankind is a cookbook.
Oh my God.
You never seen that episode?
I have not, but I'm going to watch it today.
Please
Because,
look for
wow.
it. It is wild, and it became a cult classic. How to Serve Mankind is a cookbook.
Oh my God.
And you know what? He took all this food up there to serve his people. They're all gonna be for Thanksgiving,
Yeah. Oh
Twilight
my
Zone
gosh.
is on Hulu.
I will have to watch it today. I have Hulu.
I want to watch that episode now too.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, I've been looking for something to watch anyway. So, yes, that's perfect. Oh my God.
And it's black and white. I hope you don't mind it. It's
Oh,
only
no.
half an hour.
Yeah, that's
It's
totally fine.
extremely well done. In my opinion, it was ahead of its time. So
Yeah.
if we don't have any problem with eating animals, I guess they should not have to be blamed for eating us.
That's right. Oh, that's
For eating
terrible.
us.
It's a great analogy, though, because I've even brought that up. If aliens come down, if you're for might makes right, then you're going to accept that these aliens use you, even if they don't have to.
Well, they could raise us even into little farms and cages, our babies,
Yep.
and not teach them even language, not teach them anything. Just say they're bred for food, and why do we want to teach them and then they could tell us, look how dumb they are. They can't
Yep.
speak, they can't write. They're just a bunch of humans that have no intelligence, which is true because you didn't teach them anything. So now they can be, supper and something like that. But please watch that. And I want to again say you did a great job. Did you get yourself Persian bread?
No, I keep forgetting to go do that because when I go down into the city, I'm usually going down there to do street activism. So my head is in that space. And when I'm done, I'm like wiped. So I'm like just coming straight home. But I really I have it on a checklist. I just haven't done it. But I do
Make
love
sure
bread.
you
So
make sure it's freshly made there because our
yeah.
bakery makes it fresh, not
Oh, yeah.
frozen. And also they have all kind of strange, you will love it, strange jams from Persia. If they're permitted to bring it, I don't know. And one of them is fig jam, and one of them is carrot jam, and they're
Carrot.
interesting to try. Yeah, just try it, and they're very delicious.
Yeah, I bet. I'm totally down for doing that. I just haven't. There's another vegan restaurant that's going down in Portland because most people are staying at home and cooking their own meals. So a lot of restaurants in general are starting to shut down, sadly. So I've been going to these vegan restaurants that are going down. Gnarly's, if you're in Portland, go check out Gnarly's. They're amazing burgers, and they're going to be gone by the end of this month. So yeah, I've been focused on that. But I do want to get some Persian bread.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Good job. Continue the good job. And please follow me too if you don't mind.
Yes,
And
please follow Kingson. Follow all the vegans up here. These are all great vegans. You can see when they're live, and they all make great posts that just teach you new things every day.
my posts are a lot about feminism, actually, feminism and domestic abuse, because that topic to me is not good enough on TikTok, and
Yeah.
I'll promote that, continue to promote that, even though
Thank
I'm a
you.
male. So have a nice day and continue the good work. Please continue to. You are awesome.
Thank you, Kingson. You too. You're also awesome. Thank you for being a voice out there for, people that are vulnerable. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Awesome. Actually, that alien story reminds me of Jeannie Wiley. I don't know if anyone knows about her. They called her the bunny girl because when they found her, she was like 11 years old. Her dad had kept her either strapped to a potty chair or in a crib, and she didn't interact with people. So she didn't learn how to speak. She didn't learn how to interact with people. She definitely didn't learn morality. And she was a normal being when she was born. She was fully normal. The doctors say there was nothing wrong with her. Her father, though, he was mentally ill, and he thought she was mentally ill. And the doctor said she wasn't. But because he thought that, he kept her locked in the basement away from people. And what they learned, though, from this, which is terrible, terrible but that this happened to her, because she never was able to live a normal life. But what we learned is how important it is for us in those first years, that first decade of life, how vital it is for us to be around other humans, for us to be what we are. We all claim that we're better than animals, but really, if we're not taught how to be what we are, we're no different than the animals. We're literally just doing whatever we want and whatever our urges are. We still wouldn't find it right to exploit Jeannie just because her parents did that to her. Do you want to add something, Smiles? Oh, maybe you accidentally hit the button. Are you there?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Oh, got you now. Yeah, it sounded like a rumbling noise at first.
Oh, I was wondering who are you talking about?
Oh, so Jeannie Wiley is a girl that was found, I think it was in the 70s. Let me scroll up to see. She is 68 right now, I guess. She was born in 1957, and her dad kept her locked in the basement. And her mother was also very abused, and the only reason why she was discovered was because her mother, Irene, went to go get like food stamps. And I don't know why, but she decided to bring Jeannie with her. And while she was applying for food stamps, some of the workers there noticed how thin Jeannie was. And then they found out the situation, that she was locked in a basement. She was never allowed around people. And she was always strapped to a potty chair or a crib and never given human attention. Everybody was always upstairs. She didn't even know how to walk. That's why they call her the bunny girl, because when she was finally allowed to be outside and move around, she couldn't walk. She would just kind of like hop a little bit. So, and she had to be taught how to speak and move, and she's always needed care.
That's brutal.
Yeah. But it just goes to show you, right, that we as humans are very vulnerable. We're only this way because someone taught us. Someone took the time to teach us and practice with us. That we had the time and space to practice on our own, right? And that just, she's an example of like, we're really no different from the animals. You know, the animals, they're not given those opportunities either. They're not given the chance and the space to practice morality or even learn about it. They just learn about, I don't like this being done to me. You know, that's all they learn. They want to avoid harm. They want to keep living. That's all they know. Some animals do understand some morality, like we have seen them, like with mice. They'll, not morality so much, but more like ethics, I guess, where they'll consider someone outside of themselves. They'll release a mouse and share treats with them versus just eating all the treats by themselves. So, Yeah. I don't know. I just think that Jeannie is a great example we can learn from. We can see that we clearly are just no different. We just happen to have the privilege of information being fed to us. So, and that makes a big difference. Hey, Flippo John, are you over 18?
I am.
Awesome. Why aren't you vegan
Oh,
yet?
way over. Sorry.
Right on. No, you're great. Why aren't you vegan yet?
Well, and first, I'd like to say I do appreciate and respect your position on this. I do believe it is a personal choice. My issue comes down to the morality portion of this. Um, whose morality are we talking about? What if my morality isn't the same as your morality?
We're talking about your morality.
My morality?
Yeah.
I think it's accepted. I think it's who we are as a society, and globally, actually, and going across, even not just us Homo sapiens, the people, the two-legged folks, but everybody running the Serengeti and everywhere else. Everybody eats meat. It's what we do.
Okay.
I don't.
I think it's not that I don't recognize that other people use animals. It's more like I think that we all have similar principles, but we've been told from a young age to just accept reality versus questioning it and saying, should we be doing this? Thinking critically, right?
But it is accepting reality. That means that's sort of an oxymoron when you say we're trained to accept reality. Reality is reality. Why
Yes,
wouldn't
but
we
we're
accept
told that we
reality?
can't make change, right? We're told that we're small, that we can't do anything, and that what we want to make, if we want to make change, we'll have zero impact. But I'm here to tell you, you actually have a lot of power, and you can be against oppression, and you have a voice. You can use it.
And I appreciate everything you just said, and I actually agree with most of it. I just don't think it applies to vegan versus carnivore.
Well, I'll put it this way. Let's say that I want to breed dogs for dog fighting. Do you think, in your moral view, do you think that I'm doing something moral?
Dog fighting? In my opinion, no. Dog fighting's gross. I couldn't do it, and I would hope you would be a Michael Vick guy and end up in Leavenworth, if that's what we're talking about.
That's fine. The point is still there that you think that I shouldn't be doing that, and if anything, I should be stopped, right?
Well, okay, but dog fighting and just, I know where you're going with this. I want to get in front of it just a little bit.
Okay.
Dog fighting is for sport, and dog fighting is brutal. I mean, these guys suffer. A dog may have to go through, 10, 12, 15 fights before he dies, or
Maybe.
even a single fight if he
Yeah.
loses. It's
Yep.
still a 15 or 20-minute brutal death.
Yeah.
That's cruel and unusual.
So we
I
care
get that.
about we care about their experiences, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So if I should stop dog fighting because I can do something else for money, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So why is it okay for us to use animals for food items or clothing or entertainment?
Well, okay, and I understand what you're saying, and I think it is okay for a lot of reasons, and one of them is as a grown guy with a family and kids and everything, I go straight to the economics of this. And I understand, I posted this earlier, made a comment down below, and somebody actually made a decent argument half an hour ago or so about change is good. And yes, it is, because I made the comment about crashing the economy if you flip the switch.
Oh, so well, it wouldn't happen like that though.
And
I mean, I wish it would, but it's not. Like we would
Yeah.
have to have a world of people who mentally went vegan in order to do it overnight, and I just don't know if that would ever
how
happen.
would we feed this world?
The imaginary world where everyone went vegan overnight?
Or even over a period of 30,
Okay.
50, or 100 years.
Yeah, there is a way we can do it if we transition, which is so every time that you pick up a package, right, that's supply and demand that you're participating in. So because you pick up that package, they send the next animal into that system to replace what you purchased. That means that they have to now breed another animal to replace that animal, right? That's how supply
Yes.
and demand goes. If you remove your demand, if nobody buys that product, The producer reduces how many individuals they breed into existence. So as time goes on, fewer and fewer animals will be bred into existence as more and more people abstain from demanding them, right? So if there's fewer animals, then we could easily just stop mating them at some point when we all agree, when people finally come to their senses, we can all agree and put our money that was going towards fattening them up to just taking care of them, making sanctuaries, paying those farmers to be sanctuaries now, caring for those animals in their best interest.
2 questions, real quick. Do you think, if we got there, all the way to there, what you're just saying, do you think that the world globally, and this goes to politics and everything else, do you think we have the ability to feed the world without meat or fish?
Yes.
Without animals?
Yes.
You
There's
think
actually,
that could happen?
yes,
Okay,
there
I
is a
disagree
study on
with
this.
that.
There's a study on
Okay.
this. It's called Reducing Food's Environmental Impact Through Producers and Consumers. And it actually
Does that
goes
factor
over.
in politics and trade and everything else?
So this went over thousands of farms in hundreds of countries and found that we dedicate 83% of our current agricultural land to using for animal ag. And if we transition to a plant-based world, this is what the study is about. If we transition to a fully plant-based world, we would reduce our agricultural land use by 75% while at the same time be able to feed 10 billion humans. We're only 8.5 billion right now, and we have people starving. So we could fully feed 10 billion people and have the equivalent land size of America and Brazil combined to do what we want with, rewild it, whatever. We wouldn't need to use it
I
for.
certainly won't argue that because I don't have the stats up, and I
That's
believe
okay.
you, and I'll go.
That's
with,
okay. I was gonna say,
I'll go
definitely
with
check
those
out that
numbers.
study. I'm just a TikToker, so definitely always be skeptical, but
what
definitely
about
check
when
out
you
that
put in
study.
Politics and trade and the ability to actually do. Yes, we could do it, but in reality, would we do it? And the second
I
part
mean,
of that is
that doesn't matter. Why? Wait. Flip, John, stop. You're running away from something, and I think it's because you know what the problem is. If we want change, we need individuals to change. So it's not that the system needs to change first, it's that you need to change first. You need to be the change that you want to see in the world. That's how any rights movement has ever happened. One person at a time, realizing what their principles are and living in alignment with them. That's it.
I agree
Your
with
principles
that.
are
I
already
agree
there.
with that.
Okay.
I
So it
agree with
doesn't
that
matter.
100%.
Doesn't matter about politics, doesn't matter about governments, it doesn't even matter what the person next to you is doing. It's about you and your choices and what you want to support. All
Let me
the other
ask you
stuff
this.
are just perks. Go ahead.
Well, let me ask you this then. Do you honestly believe, whether it's your life or your great grandkids' life for that matter, do you actually think we'll get into a position where enough people actually want to change in order to make this happen?
Yes.
Because I disagree.
Yes.
People
I
love
think
fish,
that
they
I
love
think in
meat, they
50
love
years even.
this stuff.
I think in like 50 years they're going to look back at us and already be like, "Wow, they were barbaric." Like we're already destroying our planet. You know, a sentience, sadly, the rights violations aside, we are burning our planet for future generations. They will absolutely look at us in shame, for sure. So you got to ask yourself, do you want to be one of those people that they look back in the book and go, ugh, I do not want to be that person? Or do you want to be the one that they aspire to be? Because I don't know about you. When I look back at time, oh, okay. All right, bye. When I'm looking at a history book and I see those racist white people yelling at people that just wanted to be educated, I don't want to be those people. I find them disgusting. Same thing with sexists, same thing with homophobes. I don't want to be those people. I wanted to be the one that was in front of the line saying, no, everybody deserves rights. Liberation for everyone, right? Like, stop trying to find these arbitrary reasons, their lack of intelligence to whatever you think is what they should be focused on, or, you know, what they look like, what group they're a part of. That doesn't matter. Our similarities are what matter. We all have a subjective experience, and we're making preferences on those. We want to be happy and comfortable. We make preferences of things that we like that are unique, and we want to live more so that we can have more experiences. We avoid harm so we can continue to have more experiences. That's just the way it is. All animals that are sentient have that in common. Why don't we respect that in each other instead of saying you're smaller, weaker, and you don't think about the same things as me, therefore it's okay for me to do what I want to you and use your body for my pleasure without your consent? Why is that okay with that? Why are we okay with doing that to innocent beings? That's not okay. Someone is knocking aggressively at my door. Lucky.
Hi.
Hey, are you over 18?
I am 24.
Okay, perfect. Why aren't you vegan yet?
I don't want to cry, but sorry. Food is pricey.
That's
I switched to
understandable.
grains. Sorry, I'm like really emotional about this because like I switched to grains because I decided to for myself that I I was in pain and people were hurting me and I was like, what's the difference? Cows and like I love baby cows and calves and animals and I grew up on a farm and I saw so much pain with like people like using them as like food, I guess. Like that's a thing, I guess. People like see them as like flesh. Ew, sorry. I think it's gross and I just think of like how people are starving in Gaza and like how if we just switched more to like grain, like how cheap is rice and beans and like soup and vegetables and just if we all just like focused on like better peaceful things instead of just like war against just the natural things, I think we would all be a lot better off. And at this point, like there's comments and I know you'll get comments like you seem very nice and sweet and you're going to get a lot of comments in these days of people just hating on you for what you respect and honestly say that's their choice and separate yourself from that because honestly in this life you can say it left and right but people make their own choices and when you find people that respect you you respect them too and that is called peace and that's called harmony and that's like a cattle in the land like you know how cows like eat in the field and they're peaceful and they like moo and like they're just happy and they always have these little smiles on their face. I think that's where we need to get as people. We need to look at the cow smile and look at harmony and stuff. I don't know, I'm just speaking out of what's coming out of my heart. But thank you for
Yeah.
letting me join and you can take me off whenever, but I'm here to just say the truth that I think people need to respect life but respect choice too. Like there's a natural cycle. Like I'm very pro choice, but very pro choice in what you deserve. Like if you want to let life live, let it live. But at the same time, when it comes to innocence, like things that are already on this earth and things that you can't control, you should really just respect that. And that's why I love animals and love that you respect them too.
Yeah.
So thank you for just
Yeah.
standing up for what you believe. That's
Absolutely.
called freedom.
Yeah, what I'm hoping to bring about is positive peace because there's positive and negative peace, right? Negative peace is where
Yes.
we kind of just fake that we're okay with each other and we ignore the negative. And I want to see positive peace where there's justice for everyone. Everybody has liberation and protections and respect. So, yeah.
It's like can I say something real quick?
Please, yes, please do.
It's like a mask that you wear. It's like hiding your face. It's like saying that you get to be glorious when others are facing doom. It's like so what I say when I say that, I'm saying that a lot of people pretend to be something. They'll say, "Oh, I'm vegetarian or I'm a vegan or I'm this or that or I eat meat even." And they'll lie about it to your face and it's like, "Why don't you just be real? If you eat meat, just say it. It's okay." Like if you do certain things, it's okay to be real. Just be, it's rather, I would rather a person spit at my feet and say, go fuck your, oh, sorry, language, TikTok. You know how it goes and say the truth at my feet than, or even in my, like, I don't want to say that because I would never want curses upon my life, but I rather, it's the same thing. When someone curses you, it's the same thing as them spitting at you. You know, I rather be real with people than just be dishonest because it's drinking your own poison, as someone once said to me.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, I genuinely don't care to have conversations with people that are just up here to fight me. I really like having conversations with people that are genuinely open-minded and curious. They're like, this is just not something I've thought about before. We eat animals because that's what my family's always done, and it's a habit and it's convenient. And I totally understand that perspective because I came from the same place. I was not raised vegan, and there was definitely culture, and my family is steeped in using animal products, so I definitely experienced most of what other people will find it hard, but I came out the other side, and I really wasn't that hard. I made it seem bigger in my head, but it really isn't that hard for us to get to that positive peace, where we have justice for all. Because I truly do
True
believe,
peace. True peace, yeah.
I truly
Can I
do
say
believe that.
something on that?
Sure, please go ahead.
I just want to respect and like don't cut you off when
You're fine.
you speak, and it's like give and take. It's like balance is equal. What I'm saying is, I think people just don't know how to correctly like moderate into their diet and understand that sometimes it's not just throwing out everything in your house. If you get to that point that you're so disgusted like I did, I got to a point where I ran out of like I went through something that I ran out of food. I didn't have like anything to eat, and all I had was like grains and like certain things, and I said to myself, I'm don't feel too bad. Like I actually had more energy, believe it or not, and I started doing therapy work and just taking care of myself, and I realized like I started going to the store and buying like groceries. Okay, so I was like, I'm gonna buy some cans of beans, and I started looking at the ingredients, and like I was like, wow, it's so crazy how like there's like high fructose corn syrup is in everything, and it's like it's terrifying like how these shove. Yeah, the stores are loaded with food, but no one knows what to eat. No one knows what, and I don't say it like that. I say everyone knows what to grab. But like there's still like everyone complains about food prices and this and that. But did you know a bag of rice, like a huge bag of rice, is probably like $10 or like at most, like that could feed you for a month that or longer, like probably or like you know what I mean, depending on how much you eat. Like that stuff right there is so littleized that. But if you go into Walmart, if you look at like oils and vegetables, you know how delicious like taking a sweet potato, putting it in the oven and putting some coconut oil and kale like just mushed down with your fingers and like chopping it up so it's like massage so that it breaks apart and it just digests well in your body when you chew correctly. And like when you just add like seasonings to it, like culturally it's beautiful, and just I don't know, just like main things like and then you get to eat more because the less caloric value the more you get to eat, and then you feel satiated like longer, and you're like, oh my gosh, I always have to eat, but like where's the weight? I'm so healthy and happy, I have energy, I have life. And people will judge you for that. For what? Okay, you can go eat your burger and take a part of something that will one day could give you cancer. It could give you cancer. Like it blocks your colon, for goodness sake. So that's where I'm looking, like healthy wise and and wise of like um animals. I think like it comes from the heart. I look, like I said earlier, I look at I'll let you like go on, and if you like, again, I respect you, so I'm not going to say keep ranting on because I'm a ranter, but and I feel really passionate about this. But what I'm saying is if we can easily hurt animals, who's to say do we even care about people? Because it's the heart. Like we're over here like letting wars go on, and we try to stand up, but no one listens, and it hurts my feelings because it hurts their feelings. There are kids in the streets starving, and if we switch to grain base and beans and vegetables, and we all went over there, and I was thinking about this, if every protester bought a can of beans and just put it in a bag and we all shipped it over there, like what could we do with save children, like that's what I look at when I see cows. I see babies.
To further your point, I don't know if we can actually have a direct effect on any current wars, unfortunately, just because the way things are. But I hear your heart. There are still humans being exploited in this system, right? There's humans. So as you pointed to, humans hurting animals is harmful to even their psyche, right? They're suffering through that because no human feels good about taking the life of an animal, and yet we're telling someone to make minimum wage and do the hardest job that no human wants to do for 6 to 8 hours a day, 4 to maybe even 6 days a week, right? So it's someone's
Yeah, I've
job.
been there.
Yeah,
I've
and
been there.
it's just like we know statistical facts that when a slaughterhouse is put into a neighborhood or some area, the violent crime around it goes up. The people that work there have higher chances of domestic violence, of turning to drugs and
Yeah, I
alcohol to
agree with
cope. Yeah, it's.
I agree with you.
Oh, I know
It's
you do.
painful. Like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
agree with you. I lived in the country, so I've been to like these auctions where they take these animals and they just sell them. And I remember going as a child and crying my eyes out because I didn't agree with what was going on. That was my baby. That was my friend. Like being being myself and just going out and feeding them every morning, taking these large buckets of water and grain to them and making sure their stall was clean, you know. Um, I just remember them going like them, oh sorry, I don't want to cry.
It's okay. It's an
I
honest
remember
reaction. You know, you're being
I remember
honest.
seeing them get auctioned off and everyone just raise their hand and be like for this amount, and it just made me feel so disgusted by society for letting anyone just be auctioned off in a way like that. Anything like that. Like, I'm sorry. Like, there are better ways to go about eating and life. And that's what I say. I don't care if people laugh at me or judge me or say or hurt me or say that I'm cruel. How can you call someone cruel for being honest about cruelty in general, you know?
Lucky, are you vegan?
I'm not vegan yet, but I'm getting there.
Yeah.
It's really hard for me.
So
And
I
I get
understand.
it. That's why I'm saying I get it.
Yeah, no,
Because
I hear it in you. I definitely hear you have the right principles. Your heart is in the right place. The only thing it might be is you just lack where to start. And that's what I have these resources for. The bottom one, if you wanted to be in a group, like if you wanted to reach out to other people that are newer to vegan,
yeah.
they also have nutritionists. So you can ask them questions about where do I find my protein or, you know, my vitamins, whatever. They can help you with that.
I love that.
Yeah. And then
I really appreciate you.
yeah, absolutely. And then above that, I have what's called the Vegan Daily Dozen. I personally struggle with reaching out to people. So what I like about this is
Mhm.
that it's just a really easy checklist. You don't have to talk to anybody. You can just Google Vegan Daily Dozen, and it just shows you the whole foods that are. This is actually the cheapest and also one of the healthiest diets. It's a whole food plant-based diet. And what I try to do is I try to stick with this diet so that I make sure I get everything, and then if I want to eat junk, it's okay because I know I've gotten all my needed nutrition. And by junk, I mean vegan junk food. And then and it's on nutritionfacts.org, but like I said, you could just Google it. And above that is just Dominion. I don't know if you necessarily need to watch it because it sounds like you know what's happening. But this just shows you, like, if you are going to purchase any other animal products, you should know what those labels mean, because we paint a happy
Yeah.
picture sometimes in our minds, but what's actually allowed is not what we imagine. And it's important for us to know as consumers what we're demanding because someone had to experience that. So,
I think
go ahead.
oh, I'm sorry. I just wanted to say I think that's where I struggle with is the corporative or corporation view of what society should look like. You know, when you eat something, I looked at a burger the other day and I was like, we all like do this thing where we have to have like if we have to replace something for something, and it's like I don't know. I kind of just want to go like on a not on like a diet or like a certain like system. Just kind of like test myself to see if I naturally like certain things better because I'll eat
Absolutely.
like barley and with some like I'm trying to think what I ate it with like okay barley with like some kale and arugula and some sweet potatoes chopped up finely with some oil and like seasonings and I'll put some falafel on that and that will satiate me for longer and it'll make me feel lighter and fuller and I like look to myself and I'm like why do I need to add cheese when like that costs something like, everything costs something and I think when a bag of rice costs is more in weight and more in value than like I don't want it like the other side of it, you know? You can survive longer on things like that for a better budget. And that's what I'm saying. Like when you say like you want to like help people get to a place of being peaceful. I think the economy, I think of the whole picture of saying like, if we change the way we view reality and say, hey, it's not okay. Like, it's not okay to hurt things that are innocent.
Right, exactly. If we could actually have respect for animals, there's a good chance that we'll respect each other because we
Amen
deem
to
animals
that.
lesser than us, right? So if we can respect those that are lesser, I hate saying that because they're not lesser, they just have different priorities. But if we do demean them and we can still respect them, then I'm sure we will respect each other as well. Not everybody,
I
but
appreciate you.
yeah.
No, well, some people just don't. It's not that they don't get it. They have their own lives. Like they have their own things going on, and a lot of people. Like I also look at culturally. Like I think of a lot of people. Is it right for me? No, but is it right for them? Yes, and that's their culture, and I don't want to disrespect them, but they also disrespect me when they laugh at the fact that I choose not to eat at a place that serves meat in
Well,
general.
so
Sometimes.
it's interesting you bring up culture. It's one thing for survival. I would love to talk to somebody that is in one of those survival situations, but as far as culture goes, I mean, I understand. I want everyone to keep their culture. I don't want anyone to lose culture.
Yeah,
But if
exactly.
someone's culture was to violate me, I'm not going to respect that. And that's why I feel that there's no moral justification, even culturally, God, I can't even say it, even for culture, that justifies violating an animal's autonomy. I understand they've been doing it a long time, but you're still taking someone's everything for trivial things, right? You don't need
So what,
to,
like a bite in your mouth?
like a bite in your mouth.
That's what. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They take a life for a bite of
Oh, yes.
satisfaction, for pleasure. And
Yes, exactly. And I'm just saying
it
culture.
goes away in an hour or two.
Exactly. And culture just doesn't justify that. You can still have culture and just remove using the sentient being, replace with something that isn't sentient. So, and
I think
I just don't know of any
yeah.
culture really that like solely relies on using animals. Like everything is, you can interchange things and still have your culture.
I think I need to get serious with that at some, like, not at some point, like in my little moments, like when I see something that has animal cruelty on it, like it's really hard because it's in everything these days, like testing. Like I'm getting to a point where I'm about to change my life completely. Like everything is changing for me, and it's sad, but it's also a good thing because then I get to go through my stuff and kind of like look at my life and see like what is good and what is has pain to it, and I can
Yeah.
feel it in energy. I do like Reiki, so like I can feel energy, and I can feel when there's like pain in that energy. And that's why when I came to a point where when I started tapping into my spiritual journey, I I ate something that was just so sad, and to even speak on it, and I immediately started like gagging. Like I literally wanted to literally cry my eyes out because I realized, I was like, what is this? Like, what did I just do? And to me, that was enough. That was enough to at least take one thing out of my diet, which is animals. And
Yeah.
I'm slowly changing my diet every day and every moment and every choice and every bite that I eat. But sometimes it is like that, and I'm trying.
Yeah, it's about where do you want to support someone's oppression? That's all veganism is being
Exactly.
against the exploitation and oppression of other sentient beings. And what I just simply suggest is that when you're in the store and you're filling up your cupboards, if you're about to reach for animal products, even if you know what it is that went into it, right? You should ask yourself, would I tolerate that treatment? Would I accept the reason that you would be coming up with, like it's too expensive or I'm weak right now? If you were the victim, would you accept those excuses, right? And that's what I always tell people.
Yeah.
If you're going to purchase it, ask yourself, what if it were you? Wouldn't you want your oppressor to stop, or would you want your oppressor to take baby steps? But you're already, it's
Throwing
not,
something out there.
please go
Oh,
ahead.
I'm so sorry to
Oh, no,
cut
no,
you.
I'll keep
I
talking,
want
so
to
you're welcome to
throw
speak up.
something out there that came to mind when you say that. Um, it's like, so you know how people have like certain morals and values like religion, and I don't want to bring religion up to this, but this is my religion. Eating animals is wrong to me, and that is my religion. And that's under one of the amendments is a law, like you have religious freedom to choose and what, so that is my religion, is not eating animals anymore. And what I'm saying is, it's like that. It's like I can look at something, and even if for some reason I desire it, I just tell myself no, because that's not good. And that's where I want to get to, where I say, I don't want to be someone that's cruel. I don't want to be someone unkind, because you never know what a word would
Because you want to be
strike someone.
respected, right?
Yeah, it's not even being respected. It's the fact that I would never want to disrespect someone, because you never know, like how that could affect their day. You never know how one word could literally like curse someone out, and if you have to like curse someone, that's really sad. Like if you have to
Yeah.
tell them to step back, it hurts.
I will tell people I think there's nothing wrong with holding people accountable. If somebody is doing something
Yeah.
harmful, I will tell them, take a step back, look at what you're doing, ask yourself, would you accept this treatment? That's all it is. Veganism is just recognizing there's a victim and asking, what would the victim prefer? Would they prefer to be used or not used? So it's great that you
Saying
have.
victims in general.
Yeah.
I think victims in general. I think victims never want to be used. That's why they're a
Exactly.
victim,
Yep.
And that's
And
why I say, "Oh, hail the baby cow."
Yeah. No, exactly. They're innocent. We can't get reliable consent from them. So that means we don't have permission to do anything to them except for anything that's in their best interest, like a child.
Such a good point. Oh my God, it's like you're speaking. Oh my God, it's like you're speaking facts.
Yeah, I know, right? This is what I mean, though. I think most people agree with us. I think most people, even the cruel people, understand that animals feel pain, that it's wrong to cause unnecessary harm. But what happens is we have what's called cognitive dissonance. We've been told for so long, and we're currently still told constantly, you have to use animals to be successful in relationships, in your job, just in life. You have to use animals. And we're never told to question it.
You know what? I think when you say that, people misunderstand like how deep you're going with that sentence. And I want to put light on that, because when you say people have to have animals in their life and this and that, people bring in animals into their home and they make them family, but then eat a burger. It's like what you're saying to me, and what I want to say to you, people that are listening, is you're not saying what she's saying is basically, when you're in a relationship, so if one person is a vegan and one person eats meat, that's not going to work really well unless you guys respect each other, because it breaks relationships apart, because that's different morals, it's different concepts, it's different belief, it's different even heart, because it can break people apart and economies apart when you have different religious beliefs on what is good and what is not. And that's how I see it when you said people disrespect animals and use it as a ploy to say pain is okay, just for a bite to eat.
Well, so that cognitive dissonance, so we're told constantly, right, that we have to use animals. And then on top of that, when we use them, we get benefits that we enjoy, the taste pleasure, or maybe the look of a leather jacket, or how they dance, if we're going to a zoo or a circus, or even, any other place where they have animals just for our viewing purposes. Right. It's, I lost my train of thought.
It's okay. Just breathe. It's okay to breathe.
Oh yeah, no, it's not that. It's just okay. More like I'm taking having a partner that's not vegan isn't necessarily bad. If you have a partner who's not vegan, I would hope that because you're in a relationship, you're having conversations and you're hearing each other. But that to me it does sound though sometimes like it's that negative piece where maybe they're just enjoying each other, but they're not talking about the issues that they might bump noggins on. Whereas positive piece would be where they're working on it and they're talking on it and they're listening to each other, which is how you make change. And I would just respect it. Yeah, and exactly. If they're not respecting you, you're going to learn that they're probably not the partner for you, right? Because who wants to date someone who's not respecting them?
At
I know
least
some people get lost
mouthwash,
in that.
okay? Like,
Yeah.
I'm like, at least mouthwash the paint off your teeth. Like, that hurts me. Like,
I don't know if I could tolerate personally. I just don't. There are vegans I
no,
know.
same. I agree. I don't know.
Yeah, there are vegans I know that are dating non-vegans, and I even went vegetarian, and my partner wasn't at all. And he just watched documentaries with me, and eventually we came across a dairy documentary, and that's when I went vegan. And he actually went vegan at the same time because he saw what I was seeing, and we think very similar. You know, that's what drew us to each other, is that we have a lot of similar ideas and ways of looking at the world. So, yeah, there are benefits to still communicating with people that think differently. And actually, it is the most successful way for people to become vegan and stay vegan is if they see what happens and then they have a genuine conversation with someone. So, yeah.
I seriously respect your kindness, and I respect the fact that you're saying that for you and for people that like respect the same cultural or like even like morals or like what you believe to be what is best for you. Like, you respect yourself and respect them too, but you also respect people have choice and indifference, and that it's not okay, but you understand that there is things that go into play, that it's a journey, and sometimes the journey is very hard for some people, because it is hard for some people. People have addictive personalities. They don't understand that it's like cruelty in general, because like you said, like people grow up and eat it left and right. And
Yeah.
what, like, I think people can come to a place that where they understand that, and understand that it's okay to be yourself, but at the same time, what are you giving up? Like, who is suffering for that?
Yeah, I think what's important, there's a difference between habits that only affect you and habits that affect other people. If someone was being racist, you know, because that's just who they are, I would still ask that they stop because they're causing harm to somebody
Yeah.
unnecessarily. So it's, I understand that we do have choices and that we should respect each other, but I also think that our rights end where someone else's rights begin. So that's it. I understand that people will be on a journey, but if you think that something's wrong, you know, you should just not partake in it. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know really
I
what else to
appreciate you
say.
saying something.
Yeah.
No, it's okay. I appreciate you saying something and like speaking up for what you personally view as like what is good, because
Well, it's not about me though.
I think that
I was gonna say it's
it's
not
not
about
about
me.
you. It's about the
Yeah,
animals. It's about the
exactly. It's
animals.
about
And
what the
thank
animals
you for
want.
correcting me. Thank
Yeah,
you
no
for. I
worries.
love being
No worries.
corrected. It means I can have a better thought process and cognitive like
Yeah.
function on like what's going on. I will let you go. I have some things to do today, but thank you so much for letting me join
Yeah,
and
thanks
just
for
speak my
coming up.
piece. I think I'm gonna really contemplate this, and because yeah, like I said, I'm vegetarian. I gave up like dairy, like not dairy, like I eat cheese. That's like it. Like I don't eat honey right now. Like I just eat cheese, and like I have like a lot of like substitutes in my fridge, but I'm getting to a point where I just want to go completely like raw, even not raw because I like to cook my food, but
Yeah.
like vegan, you know, but
I do
like
feel like
I want
raw
to
is a
get to a
little
place
bit
of
raw is a little bit
harder on the
harder. Yeah.
process. It's
Yeah.
on the gut, especially like on your like
It's good to
like
cook food sometimes,
body.
I think. But what I
Certain
want to
things
push you to do, go watch Dominion because it does sound like there's some stuff you may not know about, and this goes
Is
over
it like
all
a
the.
horror movie?
It's not a horror movie, but it does show you the standard practices, what's legally
Same
allowed.
thing. I don't.
Yeah.
I hate watching it, but it's the truth, and sometimes the truth needs to be heard.
I was going to say
So
what needs to be heard for you. I think you need to know what goes into dairy and what goes into eggs because they do seem benign because you'll see some animals on a happy pasture, but even those animals, there's a background that is hidden from you. And it's important to know, like, for example, I'll just run over quickly and I'll try to keep it minimal so I don't hurt you too much because I want you to watch the Dominion because this is the reality, right? And my words aren't going to cover it. But for chickens, for example, they come from the red jungle fowl who only laid 13 eggs a year, 13. And it was only for part of the year, and they were typically fertilized because that was her trying to have her babies and continue on.
yeah.
So
I
what
know
we
that's gonna
did
make
is,
me cry about
I know, I'm so sorry, but we took them
no,
out
because I
from
think of
their,
like babies, you know, like that's so sad. Like,
yeah.
like obviously, like I say, everyone has their choice in certain things, like when it comes to like life in general. But for me, I look at ants and I'm like, I walk down the street and I'm like, ah, they're everywhere. I can't, I don't want to like, you
Of
know, I don't want
course,
to hurt
there's going
them.
to be harm that happens just from existing, and
Yeah,
there's some of it you can't
you
avoid.
can't
But
avoid some things. Yeah.
you can avoid demanding eggs and milk, any other byproduct of animals. So what happens to that chicken is that she's made to mate with someone she wouldn't normally mate with, so that her baby is deformed, so that that baby produces more eggs. And we did that over and over until they produce 300 eggs a year. That's a lot. They go through carrying this weight in their belly, and then they have to drop it and then create another one and keep dropping it. And as they get older, it gets harder for them. Some of the eggs, they can get stuck in their cloaca because it's the same spot as their poop
And then they
hole.
could die in like the worst like possible pain. Like it's like
Yeah.
dying in childbirth almost for them. Like that's
Some of them do
awful.
die from once they get to a certain age, because it takes so much calcium and nutrients out of their body. They have to be fed a certain
Energy from their
diet.
body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So on top of that, most of these places that make eggs are going to be hens, right? They're going to be female chickens. Evolutionarily speaking, there should be a male for every female. So where are all the males?
Yeah, where's the roosters and the pain? Like, you know, like they're not like I know
They're
that like you have to
macerated.
obviously. Oh
They're
my God.
blended
Don't talk
alive.
about that. But
First day
obviously
of
you need to
life.
talk about that because that's
Yeah,
how awareness is spread is people
exactly.
knowing the truth and
Yep.
people siding with certain sides. And I think that's how life just works, you know, as people choose and you be like for like I want to give you some encouragement because I know there's a lot of comments. I like this one person in the comment right now, but you know, there's a lot of comments. For every one good comment, I feel like you get like 100 negative comments as someone who cares about
Just
animals like
remind yourself, just know they're mostly children, and children don't understand morality really. They just say things that
no,
they've
it's
heard
adults for
before.
me.
Yeah,
It's adults for me.
oh, okay. I mean, there are some adults that are that way
Right.
too. I've definitely come across, there's a lot of adults that I feel like weren't given the proper attention as children. And so they react like children because their issues were never addressed. So when they come across things that make them uncomfortable or angry, they just don't know what else to do other than to lash out at whatever made them uncomfortable. I actually see most people as rational, but I think that when they're met with something that counters what they've known forever, they just react. Because I was once an asshole too. I actually used to make fun of vegetarians. I was a bad person. And
I did too when I was 8. I asked for like when I was 8 years old, I asked for bacon in my stocking because I didn't understand. I thought that was like a whole like riot. I was like, I'm so cool because I'm like odd or something. I don't know. I just really wanted food, I
yeah.
guess.
No,
Or a snack, and
I used to
that's
say like you'll
weird
take
for
it
me
from my
now.
cold dead fingers, you know? Like I used to joke like that to
Yeah.
my vegetarian friends, and they weren't even talking to me about vegetarianism. So that's what I mean. Like these people that are in the comments, they're just reacting from that childish area that they just haven't addressed yet. They haven't really done reflecting, to ask themselves, why do I feel so angry at this topic? Why do I feel so threatened and attacked when really it's just about asking myself, do I want to keep doing these habits? But change is scary. That's why people lash out. They're scared. And if they don't know how to handle that information, they just turn into the children that they once were.
I love how bold you are when you speak because honestly, I'll say one thing out here like where I live and people will start like being so cruel about everything and it's like I feel like this like I imagine myself just being like beat upon with every word and it's just so and it's humiliating for them because they don't even know that it doesn't bother me. It just makes me hurt for them because I see their true colors.
Yes,
It doesn't
exactly.
affect me anymore. At first, it did affect me, but when they would say things about like, 'cause people do say things like they'll be like when I was at work and I would only get like a hash brown or something, like people notice and they do kind of make fun of you for being different. Like, and It's sad
But
because I don't
that's
think that's how it is everywhere.
yeah, but you already said it. It's their own issues. They're putting their own
It's
issues
their
on their
issue.
sleeve. They're like, look, you have this problem. Actually, it's my problem. So I
Okay,
feel, yeah.
I will let you go though. I have some chores to do, but
Okay.
and some
Definitely
things to
give me
get
a
done.
follow or follow Smiles and reach out to
I
either of
already
us.
followed you.
Okay, good, good. Right
I will
on.
follow Smiles as well. I hope
She's a
you
great
both have
advocate.
a wonder. I didn't even know, like, I saw Smiles and I'm like, okay, that's obviously someone listening, but I hope they're having a good day. And I hope you spread so much awareness that people, even if it's just one person, that even if it was just me to kind of change my life, just even if it's just throwing out one cruelty item in my closet that makes me feel mournful against what I believe, like, I hope you get good energy back, and I hope Smiles gets good energy back, and and I hope sorry, I just look at the cow and the little boy, and I'm just in the picture, and I'm just like hoping everyone gets good energy in the chat. So everyone have a good day. Bye.
Lucky, thank you for coming up, and please reach out to me in private message. I'd love to continue our conversation.
Yes, thank you so much. Bye
Yeah,
bye.
absolutely. Have a great day. Well, I actually might call it there. Might end on that one. Yeah. How do you feel, Smiles? I don't know if you're there.
I think what you were saying about the like negative piece versus the positive piece, I liked what you were saying about that with like the dating, like, oh, maybe you're just avoiding it, like avoiding having like going out to dinners with your boyfriend or something, but you're not addressing
Yeah.
like the differences between you, then that can cause like a lot of issues.
Oh yeah.
And that like too reminds me of how, if you remember from like the first time I was on your live, I think like I said, oh, like for me, I wouldn't want to be with someone who isn't a vegan, because then it's like, then I'm just like, and being in like an official relationship, because it's like, why would I do that
Yeah,
when it's like,
I don't know if
like
I lost my partner, I don't know if I would try dating again. Just in general, the dating world seems a mess. Just seems
because I remember saying to you, I was like, oh, I don't want to live in like hope. I just want to live in like the reality, and the reality is that they're not, and so
yeah, I
if they're
can
gonna be with
understand
you, they
that.
have to be.
I can
Yeah.
totally understand that. I guess where it comes down to is sometimes people find themselves falling for someone they wouldn't expect. It's like something else in their personality comes up. And if that were the case, then you're probably going to talk about other priorities and it would just come up naturally. But I do feel really bad for relationships where the partner is just set on not becoming vegan. I don't understand that. But I'm also not going to tell that vegan they're a bad vegan. I just personally don't think I could handle dating someone that is harming others. Like when I was vegetarian and my partner wasn't, that still even bothered me. Even though I wasn't, I was still participating in the oppression and the exploitation, and I didn't fully understand what I was doing. I still felt perturbed, I guess, that he wasn't doing what I was doing. But I didn't actually say anything. But that's where I felt like there is this irritation that's going to happen if you don't talk about it, then you're just avoiding it, you know. But eventually, and like I said, I would tell him about what I felt and what I was seeing, and he would watch documentaries with me, but he made the choice on his own to become vegan. I was like, oh God, I don't even want to be a part of the dairy and eggs, scene. And he was like, yeah, this is ridiculous. So sometimes it's about getting that right information in front of somebody and them hearing it from someone they trust. That might be also, everyone just needs a certain person to talk to them, I guess. But anyway, I think I'll call it there since we have no requests. And we made it to 3 hours. I didn't know if we were going to be able to make it without me restarting, but we did it. We did it. But I want to thank you, Smiles. Please, everyone go follow Smiles. Go follow all the vegans that we had on the panel. Any vegans that are in the chat, we're all open. Hey, Sarah, I see you in there. I really appreciate you all being here. For the vegans, your support really does make a huge difference for people that are live. It's stressful to be live. It hits you here, and sometimes you get really worked up with some people. It can really lower your perspective on the world. Thank you guys. But you guys being here really does make the difference. It really does.
Yeah. Thanks for having me on the panel. And if anyone wants to follow me to talk about being vegan, and also I host lives like about LGBTQ plus topics. So go ahead and follow me for that.
That's awesome. Thank you for doing that. I really appreciate you being a voice for everyone. Thank you. We need more voices that stand up for those that are being oppressed, because oppression is not okay for anybody. Liberation for all, humans, non-humans, liberation for all of us sentient beings, right? We all deserve freedom and
Thanks
autonomy.
everybody for the coins. Bye.
Yes, thank you. Thank you guys. Please go follow Smiles. Please go follow the vegans in the chat. Ben the vegan farmer. We had Ozark up here earlier. Who else do we have here? We had Kingson and Landon Plants. Who else did we have up here? We had Lori. I see you, Ina. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry if I'm missing anybody. You amazing vegan. Anyway, yeah, thank you guys for being here. Total liberation, exactly, Ben. I don't know who's live next. I think that Universe will be live soon, so everyone go check out Universe. There's only 13 of us in here, so it's probably all vegans, but definitely go check out Universe or whoever is live, all right? Go follow all the vegans you can, and whoever's live, go check out and see what they're doing for their lives. I might go check out Universe if he's up in a few hours, and otherwise I'll be live on Wednesday, 4:22-ish p.m., and it might be on my other YouTube account, or my other TikTok account, which is VSL 2.0. If you're not following, please go follow that account. I'm trying to just have a backup account. And then also, if you can, go on YouTube and follow Anti-Animal Use. Anti-Animal Use is a group that does street outreach that I started with another person, and we're just trying to get more people to recognize us so we can get more people to come out and just do activism. We need more vegans either on the streets or online. I don't care where, we just need more vegans speaking up because we know what's right and wrong, and we know that everyone else agrees with us. It's just that they have that cognitive dissonance. It's all it is. Anyway, appreciate y'all. You have a great day, and I'll see you in another live. You guys have a great day. See ya. Great vegan day.